Let we go.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Hello, everybody. Welcome in Thursday, OTB, April 13th, 2023. And it was a late one last night as your New Orleans Pelicans were in the play-in game against the OKC Thunder. It was win or go home, or I guess in the Pelicans' case, win or stay home, as they were at home and yet still could not find a way to win. There's a ton to talk about with the New Orleans Pelicans, right? As it marks the ending of a year. There's a lot to get to with last night's game specifically, both good and bad and frustrating and whatnot. But then there's a lot to look at with the season as a whole. And we'll do it all these first couple of segments. We also got LSU Kentucky coming up later tonight. LSU Gymnastics is going to start their quest for a national championship. Those semis begin this afternoon on ESPN 2. LSU Kentucky at 6 p.m. tonight. We'll talk to Coach Jay Johnson in hour number 3 at 9:30. So a late appearance on the show today from Coach Johnson. We got Coach Beth Torina, as we do every single Thursday at 8 a.m. They're looking to bounce back after that tough-fought Oklahoma loss by coming back and squaring up with Auburn this weekend, 21st ranked Auburn. So a lot of good sports on the horizon, but obviously a lot of this first hour is going to be spent on the New Orleans Pelicans. And as always, we will have Munchies with our guy, Chef Michael Johnson. We got Danny Cardenas in here today. We got Jacob Beck. We got Jake Hester. I don't know if Mario's coming at some point in the show today. He did the
Mario
call.
ain't coming in after last night.
Did the call last night. I don't know. He seems kind of positive, right? He sent us a selfie of him smiling in front of the stadium.
Apparently, he's coming in at 9 a.m.
Okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense. I mean, he wants to get these takes off. To be clear about that, right? He can't go takeless. He is the host of the Flock Up podcast. He can't go takeless the day after the Pelican season ends. So a lot to get to on today's show. It's gonna be a lot of fun. If you want to get involved, youtube.com/1045ESPN is where you can put in all your comments. Like our guy Champ, who was telling us all week that there was going to be all these changes to the LSU starting lineup, and then Jay Johnson reveals, or at least on the mound. And then Jay Johnson reveals yesterday, no, it's going to be Floyd, it's going to be Little. And, of course, it's going to be Skeen, so we hold that to be self-evident. But a lot to get to. Let's start with the Pelicans. Where do you – okay, do you want to start with the game last night, and then we'll go into the season as a whole?
Yeah, sure.
I will say this, Jake. I liked some things about last night, right? I loved Brandon Ingram taking over in the fourth, hitting big shot after big shot down the stretch. It was a sight to behold. I loved Trey Murphy making big shot after big shot, becoming this offensive driving force, the lone shooter on a team that desperately needs shooters. I loved what Jonas Valanciunas was giving you, just bullying people down low all night until he ended up getting hurt there at the end of the game. I really liked what Herb did defensively against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, pretty much except for the third. And at a certain point, like, you just got to credit Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, right? Like that last shot that he hit to take the lead, it was such a weird move. It was such a hard shot, and he made it look easy. That's what great players do. I did not like, again, C.J. McCollum's play down the stretch. I don't know why he took that shot with just a couple possessions left. But it's a bit weird, Jake, because I also don't want to, go too hard on C.J. because we know he's playing hurt, right? At a time when we are begging people to play hurt. He's played with a hand injury that's going to require surgery now that the season is over. So it's like, I don't want to be too hypocritical here, even though that's not necessarily playing hurt thing. That's more of like a decision-making thing. I do not love letting Lou Dort go for 30 on you in a play-in game while having to D up Brandon Ingram, right? He should not have had the energy to have that amount of offensive success. I don't like letting some cat who looks like he's fresh off of Outer Banks put a 30-point triple-double on your head. And yes, I'm giving Giddy or Getty. I'm giving him a triple-double, whatever. I think he was like 1 rebound and 1 assist off. I don't care. If he goes for 31, 10, and 9 and you in a playing game, that counts as a triple-double. So it's kind of much like the season. It's a complete mixed bag, but ultimately a failure. And we'll do a pros and cons list for the season in review. But yeah, just a brutal, great crowd last night too. Ended the whole game, and they were not rewarded with the dub that they deserved.
Yeah,
I don't love Zion windmill dunking before the game either, but that's
yeah. I mean, we can get to that right now. We're watching Get Up in studio, and they haven't talked about the game one time. They just talked about Zion Williamson, his future with the Pelicans, and they've showed him warming up about 17 different times.
Yeah,
and continue to talk about it. So certainly we'll talk about it. It will be something that is a part of it. As far as the game, obviously the third quarter is what did you in. It was an ugly third quarter.
Third quarters.
So do the Pelicans.
Yeah.
Pelicans hate third quarters. It is where they get uncomfortable. I don't know what happens there, but that was obviously the reason you lost. You closed strong. That hasn't always been the case, but still it's just not enough. And like you said, T, I mean, it boils down to can you make buckets, and the Pelicans can't. They can't. I mean, they are a bad three-point shooting team, and when you get to a situation like this and you get to a play-in game, like, you got to make your shots, and they just did not make their shots last night. Not the only reason that they didn't win the game, but they didn't make enough shots. And you're wondering, okay, who was going to be that secondary piece? I actually thought Trey Murphy stepped up, and he was that second option. He needed to be the second option really for the last 25 games. He probably should have been the second option there. B.I. has another big night. It's not enough, and, you didn't get enough from your bench again. It is very, very disappointing. It's a season that started with so much promise. Not like promise like, man, this could be fun, or this could be a cool season. Like, promise like, are they contenders?
Yeah, yeah.
And now here we are. You didn't win your play-in game. You're out of the postseason. And instead of, get up talking about the season that you had or what you did, they're talking about what everybody's talking about, a player that hadn't played since January the 2nd.
I mean, look, stop me if you've heard this one before, but unfortunately, when you look at the season as a whole, and even last night's game, injuries are just impossible to ignore. I'm not even just talking about Zion, right? Like you mentioned, the bench struggling. Well, there's no Larry Nance. There's no Jose Alvarado. You look at last year when you won these two play-in games and you made a playoff series, who were two of the key players creating multiple winning plays throughout the run? Jose Alvarado and Larry Nance. So I don't know. Maybe the Pelicans aren't as snake bitten as I think, right? Maybe it's just because I cover them more and watch them and talk about them that I'm just more aware of their injuries, because I'm not keeping up with the daily injury reports of even like the Warriors, right? So and I know they've dealt with it as well, but it just feels like every year injuries just define the Pelicans every single season, and unfortunately at the end of it, this season is no different. Why don't we do this? So any other thoughts on the game last night before we do a kind of season in review?
No, I mean, you laid it out there. I mean, it's a great point you make about Nance and Jose and the bench really struggling. I mean, Larry Nance got a new contract and probably felt like he found a home for the first time in his NBA career after what he did. And then Jose and the energy he gives you. Like, if you have Jose in that game last night, you probably win. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no problem believing that. And I mean, he's not a great shooter, but he is still an option to shoot.
I mean, what was it against the T-Wolves? Did they make 2 or 3 of their?
I want to say 2. I think it was like 2 of 20 something.
I mean, it was trending in that direction last night. They made some down the stretch to make it look better. They ended up 9 of 28, 32%.
Yeah, Trey Murphy made some for sure.
Yeah, Trey made 4.
Yeah,
Trey made 4 of the 9.
I mean, at one point, I think, I don't know, you were like 3 of like the teens, and Lou Dort was like 4 of 6. So I did like this joke. Somebody said more like Luka Dort. That was a pretty good joke, but it was just a little painful to have to accept last night. All right, so look, last night sucked. Okay, and much like the entire season, there were some good things, some building blocks, but ultimately it was a failure. So let's do this. It's going to break a bit early than we normally do in the first swing, and when we get back, let's do a full kind of pros and cons season in review. How should you feel about this New Orleans Pelicans season? Keep it locked here on 104.5 ESPN. We're going to be with you for the next 3 hours. YouTube.com/104.5 104.5 ESPN if you want to get in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat and hang out with us. More OTB coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to Donaldson Glass and Body, baby. DGBauto.com is the website where you can get right on that website and talk to Mr. Kenny Frederick about, what you need done, right? And line up a time, everything, whether it's tires, wheels, brakes, glass repair, collision repair, any mechanical repair. Remember, 24/7 emergency towing from Donaldson Glass and Body since 1977. 1977. Really think about that, nearly 50 years. And making sure that all your car needs are taken care of. Like, you're no longer paying a car note. You want to extend the life of your vehicle. Donaldson Glass and Body can do that. Go to dgbauto.com today.
Yeah, go to that website. You will see what we're talking about. Truly a one-stop shop for all your vehicles needs. Been doing it since 1977. Doesn't matter what you need done. If you need new tires, tire rotation, new windshield repair, they got you covered in every single way. dgbauto.com, DonaldsonGlassandBody.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $15,000 off all new 2022 1500 SCA trucks. And all new Bayou automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Bayou Ford has $2,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% APR for 84 months on new 22 Ford Expeditions. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look.
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood.
On Thursday's OTB, did the Pelicans manage to survive and advance? Or will they be weeping and gnashing of beak? And we got a brand new Munchies with Chef Michael Johnson. Off the bench, 7 to 10 a.m., 104.5 ESPN.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Neath the halo of a street lamp, I turned my collar to the cold and damp. When my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light, it split the night.
Wow. Jacob, not only do you have an excellent shirt on this morning, again, so y'all know, when I say Jacob, I'm referring to our producer. When I say Jake, it's Hester. But Jacob, I love your shirt.
Thank you.
No, God. See, why'd you muddy the waters like that? There's no need for that. Rocking the Stormtrooper shirt. I also love this song choice because it's more appropriate than you know, as I almost got banned off of Twitter for DMCA strikes for using this song in a video that I made lamenting the DeMarcus Cousins Achilles tear. To just give you an idea of just how painful and extendedly bad the Pelicans fan experience can be. Let's talk about this season. Pros and cons list, boy. And everybody can add to it. I've got mine on here. Whatever jumps out to you. Let's put it together and put it on balance. Was this season a failure? I will say this. I will say unequivocally yes, right, as a whole. I don't think, and I'm not going to tell any of you that you shouldn't think it's a failure, but that doesn't mean that there's nothing to be excited about or no positive building blocks as well, even through all the frustration. But let's start with the bad. On my cons list for the 22-23 season, Jake, obviously, to me, it starts with the injury drama, both like the actual injuries and the drama surrounding the injuries, right? The actual injuries in that you barely had your best players, your two all-stars, in Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson. To make matters worse, you barely had your sinew, right? Your bones, your kind of your glue guys, and guys like Jose Alvarado mainly. Larry Nance for extended portions of the time. It just felt like whatever, injuries classic, right? It just a bad, awful year for injuries, especially with your superstars, though. The drama surrounding the injuries, though, as well was awful. Whether it was the rumors swirling around Brandon Ingram not feeling right and not returning from a toe bruise for an extended period of time as the Pelicans were just completely falling apart and desperately needing some sort of help, and he was just nowhere to be found. Now, he eventually came back. He worked through it. He was great down the stretch. He's the reason why you even made something out of this season. And then obviously just all the Zion stuff is just out of control. And especially in light of just the last 3 days news cycle where everybody, got David Griffin saying he's healthy but didn't want to play, and then Zion saying he's healthy but didn't want to play. It's just absolutely awful. Other bad things for the year. And if you want to add on to any of these points or feel like I'm missing a point, just jump in.
I mean, I think that I think that this season was a disappointment.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I said, I think at the beginning of the conversation, unequivocally a failure. I'm not defending that. I'm just trying to look at, okay, what are the pros or what are the cons and what are the pros?
Yeah, I mean, last year you made it past the point with this same group because, again, surprise, surprise, you didn't have Zion. And you made – now, obviously, Larry Nance and Jose, to your point, like that obviously affects it. But even if they're able to get into a playoff series, I'm not sure that we would have seen the same things that we saw against the Suns a year ago. So, yeah, I think it is disappointing. The winning record, and if you want to try to make yourself feel better about it, it didn't fall off a cliff. But, just because you didn't take 7 steps back doesn't mean it can't be disappointing.
Yeah, I agree. So the injury drama and everything, just injuries in general, awful. Certainly being so good in the beginning and becoming so god-awful in the middle was just a horrible fan experience. We talk about this all the time, right? And actually rings very true today, Jake, because when you look at the record, like what determines a fan base's happiness, this is a sports core foundational rule, is not the objective numbers themselves. It's where do those numbers fall in relation to expectation. If I tell you before the year, Jake, you're going 42-40. I'm not going to say anything about the playoff. If I tell you before the year you're going 42-40, you take it. But when you are first in the West, and even in January when you are third in the West and a game out of first, and you look like you're potentially going to be a top 4 team, well, then 42-40 feels awful. And a 10-game losing streak in the middle of the season. I mean, even if you had managed to stay bad, you would have made it, right? Like you had to get god-awful to erase the greatness of the beginning of the season. And it's the inverse of last year where you started god-awful and got good. That felt incredible because your expectations were shattered and bottomed out and you far exceeded them. You allowed your expectation to rise and then you crashed and burned. Felt like misery. I mean, the middle of the season felt like I'd crashed my car in a snow ditch and then Kathy Bates had tied me up and snapped my ankles with a wooden block and a mallet. Just a horrible feeling. Other cons from the year. It feels like you have little to no shooting in a day and age when shooting is all that matters. Now, you look up the stats, you're not the bottom of the league. I mean, you're average, you're around the middle in terms of percentage. I think you're like 22 or 21 in terms of makes a game. But I don't know. It's like maybe last place, like 10.1. I think you're at like 10.6 threes attempted or something per game. You're not great. You're near the bottom. You're in the bottom tier. I'd say the bottom third, certainly, of the league. But it feels worse than that. And it's because if you look at the rest of the bottom third of the league, those are all really bad teams who aren't actually fighting for playoff spots. So when you are trying to judge yourself against your peers who you want to be, just feel helpless.
Yeah, one of the things to kind of go back to, if we're talking about the middle portion of the season, is the moves you didn't make at the trade deadline, knowing how much capital you have to be able to go out there and bring in a player. And no disrespect to Josh Richardson, but he ain't it.
Oh, I'm irrationally angry at Josh Richardson. He doesn't deserve how much negative feeling I have towards him.
Yeah, well, it was a bad flagrant one last night.
That flagrant was inexcusable.
Yeah, there was no purpose, no reason for it.
You're letting freaking Twilight Cullen get in your head.
I liked your Outer Banks better.
I stole both. Dev said Twilight, and a response on the Twitter thread said Outer Banks.
That's okay.
So I'm in seeing both. Either way.
But you have all these
You can't let
picks.
Pretty Boy, you're a vet. You cannot let
Right. No.
18-year-old Pretty Boy Getty who's dropping a triple-double and his nuts on your face. You can't let that guy get in your head.
Yeah, you're making $12.2 million this year.
What?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, that's why. Tell me.
Irrationally
Tell me about
angry.
it. Yeah. And that's who you brought in. You have all these first-round picks, all the potential to move all these, whatever you want. Okay, and you didn't make a move. You felt like, okay, no, we're good. And some of that could have been because they truly like, Zion's got a hammy. He's going to be fine. He'll be back.
Yeah.
You know, some of that
True.
probably came into their thought process.
It's like
but
that
they
Zion
didn't.
clip where he's like, February? Oh, wow.
Did y'all hear what CJ said after the game?
No.
Y'all want to hear it right now?
Yes.
It's pretty crazy. Okay.
Great producing here, Jake. I'm proud of you. Let's do it.
Yeah, I think throughout my career, I've always been the type of player to do whatever it takes to help the team. I could have took the easy way out and got surgery and sat and watched, but I'm not that type of person, I'm not that type of player. Even though it affected my performance, some nights I never made excuses. I just go compete and do the best that I can, and I always try to lead by example.
That is a beautiful clip. I mean, obviously, right, he is offering commentary on what he views as the Gen Z of the league, right? The younger generation who are like, we're at 99%, but we got to be at 100 before we're going to come back. And also, Jake, again, we said it earlier, like, I'm upset with CJ that he wanted to take that shot late, but I don't want to go too hard on him because he's doing the thing that we have been begging these others to do. Be willing to put yourself out there, to be vulnerable because you're not 100%, be judged, but you're still trying to do everything you can to help the team win. So, like,
he said he needed surgery 3 months ago.
Yeah, no, he did. That is a known fact. He's going to have surgery as soon as the season ends. Like, he deserves credit for that. And as an athlete, I've gone through that where because nobody really cares that you're hurt.
No.
Right? And so all you're seeing is like, oh my God, he sucks. And you're like, well, dude, I'm out here like playing one-legged against 300-pound defensive line. Like CJ's like, I mean, I'm out here, I'm old, and I'm playing for trying to fight for a playoff run, trying to do what all these young cats won't. And everybody's just talking about how bad I suck.
Yeah, the criticism I would have there is you have to realize that you can't do the things that you've always been able to do.
That's right.
And you've got to kind of delegate those shots to someone else.
Yeah.
That would be my one criticism because, T-Wolf's game, like he had 2 different looks and had 2 free throws and missed them. And you have to realize, man, I can still be somebody that helps this team and I can maybe create or maybe I can, get a defender to flash to me and I can pass whatever that might be. But at that point, it's like I can't do what I've always been able to do because I'm not myself right now.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's not to say that he should be free of critique, but I just want to be
right. No, I like that answer.
Painfully emphasize that at least he's playing hurt. And so you can be mad at him, but you also have to give him credit where credit is due.
Next year, you're going to have 3 players next year that are making over $30 million. CJ's going to be making 35.8. BI is going to be making 33.8. And then this is going to be the first year that Zion's max deal kicks in, 33.5.
I mean, look, I think that Ingram's obviously worth it. You can't say Zion's worth it because he doesn't play. I know that CJ at that number feels bad right now, right? But look, in that god-awful portion of the season, the only reason you ever scraped together any wins was CJ putting it out there for the team. I do think that the end of this year is not wholly indicative of who he will be and can be if he's not dealing with a broken hand that needs surgery. I also think that one of the great values of CJ is intangible. It is in leadership. It's teaching Herb Jones, Trey Murphy how to become these everyday pros, right? It's having comments like that and kind of by extension trying to show Zion, hey man, look, this is what it takes. This is the way. So it's not ideal, but I don't think the number for CJ there feels as bad as maybe, or is as bad as maybe it feels. Other cons from the season. Some of the ways that you lost games down the stretch were awful. Blowing the huge lead in the uber important game against Golden State, blowing against the T-Wolves where you would have been an 8 seed and would have had an opportunity to lose a game and still make the playoffs, and then blowing it against the Thunder last night. And while you won some big games, it did feel like at the peak, right? When you really got to the tipping point games, you just never found a way to win the biggest opportunities. Other things, I think it really hurts to watch these other franchises just blow by you. The Sacramento Kings left you in the dust, didn't think twice about you. The Oklahoma City Thunder continue to trade away every superstar they ever have. They're all 19 years old.
They have 15 first rounders in the next 5 drafts. I think.
It's
15 in the next 5.
Sam Presti's a god. If you want to know how to run a small market team, David Griffin, Trajan Langdon, go talk to Sam Presti. You've had 2 first overall picks and done nothing with it. Well, that's not fair. The franchise has. Griffin and them obviously have only been design there. And then the Lakers even, right? Lakers were awful. They make shrewd moves at the deadline. All of a sudden, they have the best record in the West post-trade deadline.
At this point, the T-Wolves.
T-Wolves blew by. So exactly. So
the T-Wolves traded some of their best players, and almost you're like, are they giving up? And they actually got better.
Yeah.
And the Lakers got better from receiving those players.
Yeah. It's so that was an awful feeling part of this season. And then certainly last night losing to a rebuilding team, the youngest in the league, while Lou Dort drops 27 and Josh Giddey gets you 30-point triple-double was awful. Anything else to add on the bad before we get to the good?
So next year, I mentioned that those contracts are going to be over $30 million. They're going to have some decisions to make. Jackson Hayes, he's going to be somebody that's going to be potentially making $9.1 million. And Jackson Hayes, he's a very interesting player because it's like sometimes he doesn't play coach's decision, and sometimes they roll him out there for 27 minutes. And, obviously with Larry Nance, he was going to get some run there. But he's a player that you truly don't feel like they have belief in because they don't put him out there consistently. And I know he's kind of got a wildness to his game, but even in the NBA, like $9.1 million per season is something because when you look at your overall number right now, and this is without, I guess the only contract that would be coming off is Josh Richardson because he was obviously on his last year of a deal. So you take that $12 million off, and you're $4 million under what you were this year, even with Zion's increase. But still, like, that could be somebody that you need to pay attention to. Maybe they could package him together with some of those picks that they have, because if I'm not mistaken, they're still going to have a chance at the lottery. Now they have the worst odds of getting the number 1 pick, but they're still going to get a decent draft choice. And I don't know where that draft choice would fall on this roster right now. I mean, you look at the first-round pick, Dyson Daniels, kind of the same thing as Jackson Hayes, like some ups, some downs, and
what happened?
Left you scratching your head a little bit. Yeah, as far as his playing time. Kyra Lewis is another former first-rounder coming off an injury. Like, what's the plan there? So you have –
Dyson Daniels is hurt, right? Is he still hurt, right? Am I crazy, Jacob?
I don't know for sure.
Because that's what arrested. He had great momentum at the beginning of the year, and the injuries, of course, are what did him in. I wonder if that's why he's still not playing. Sorry, Jake. I'd forgotten about Dyson. But, yeah, I would actually put Dyson in the positive category.
He was a DNP, actually. Coach's decision.
Well, still, Daniels is someone who had more high moments.
He played against the Knicks.
Yeah, he was a coach's decision for that game.
He had more high moments of this year than I feel like your NBA rookie normally has.
Yeah, he did. I'm kind of surprised he didn't get any minutes.
So I would put that in the positive category going forward. I don't know about Kyra Lewis, though, to your point, Jake. I don't know. He got minutes last night for a little bit there. He missed that layup, though, where you saw the speed.
He was bad. He did, but he was pretty reckless in his minutes. So my point is, you have all these former first-round picks that you have, and I don't really know the plan for them. I don't know Jackson Hayes. I don't know Dyson Daniels. I certainly don't know Kyra Lewis, and that's 3 guys that are lottery picks. So I don't know what you do with those 3 lottery picks. And then again, you got another lottery pick coming up this year. At what point do you try to do something with all of those assets?
Yeah, you probably try to package them or something.
Because you need shooting so badly. Like, even if you go get a sharpshooter, somebody that was a second-round pick and they don't have a lot to their game, but one thing they can do is put the ball in the bottom of the basket, you might have to say, you know what, we're not going to be prideful here. One of these former first-round picks, maybe we move a guy like that, give him another opportunity, and bring in a shooter.
Yeah,
but you know how it is, though, GMs in every sport. This is not just Trajan Langdon.
Do they care as much in basketball, though? And because I feel like Trajan Langdon,
sport they do.
I feel like Trajan Langdon's actually done an awesome job drafting.
It's not that he's done a bad job.
Irvin and Trey are great. Dyson's great.
That's three players right there, though.
I feel like you rarely hit on 3, though. I'm saying, like, I feel
well,
like
I don't know that you'd say he'd hit on Jackson Hayes.
No. I'm talking about Herb, Trey.
No,
and Dyson.
This isn't a conversation of they've drafted poorly. But that's 3 former first-round picks. And I take Daniels out of it. That's 2. Okay, Jackson Hayes and Kyra Lewis. Certainly Kyra Lewis, because I don't know where he plays right now.
Yeah.
You have all these point guards. Jose's clearly passed him up as well. You gave Jose a new deal.
Yeah.
Like, why just have that person sit on the end of the bench and not play because of coach's decision?
That's true. That's fair. Champ is saying, Jake, the deepest team in the NBA is what was said on this program. Deep teams don't have injury issues. You had dudes that looked okay in the first month of the season. I mean, I just vehemently disagree. Like here is the part about the injuries. Is it frustrating? Yes. Is it an excuse? No, we know it's not an excuse. But, like, also, are we just going to be so obstinate that we're going to act like if you take the 2 best players off the team for the majority of the year that it's not going to kill you? And then on top of that, you take away the depth because you take away a Jose and Larry and CJ's playing hurt and what Dyson Daniels hurt for large parts. Like, what are we talking about? Like, you can be deep and still get screwed over by injuries. Look at any sport, take the 2 best players off, and tell me what your team looks like after that. Nobody's going to do it. That's just,
I mean, the bench at that point when we were talking about it, and, like I said, that bench was Trey, Jose,
exactly.
and Nance.
Exactly.
Like, those were, and Najee Marshall.
The second liners. Yeah.
I mean, so that bench looked complete. You didn't have 3 of those guys because Trey had to move into a starting role. Jose didn't play. Nance didn't play in that game last night.
Yeah, so
it looks completely different.
Exactly. You're being disingenuous there, I believe, Champ. All right, so that was a negative. Coming up next, and this will be our final Pell segment before we start talking everything else. Coming up next, though, let's talk about the positives. So I do think there are positives here, okay? We're going to end with a little glass half full. Despite your, Tim, I don't want to. I want to be mad and stay on my feet. It's okay. Okay, we're going to see if I can make you a little excited. Probably not. More off the bench coming up next.
Good luck.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Hey, get a Toyota, you nerd. Okay, they're awesome. They stand the test of time.
I thought nerd was a term of endearment here on this show.
Nerds like the F word. It can be used in any sort of context in any part of speech.
Gotcha.
And I do say that lovingly. You nerd, join me. I want you to squad up. Nerd gang.
There you go.
Minivan gang. Okay? You buy a Toyota, you'll still be in that thing 20 years later. They're the best. Check out the 23 Sienna. It's going to blow your mind. It's like a spaceship, okay? Or get a Tundra, get some truck nuts. Make all your dreams come true. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Okay, I love everything about that, T-Bob. You'll love everything about All-Star, no matter what you're doing. If you're buying new, pre-owned, if you're leasing, if you're renting. Even if you're just renting for the day, if you're renting for a week, if you're 3 weeks, whatever it might be, like per day rental prices, the full fleet is available over there at All-Star. So go check it out, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TB to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Clash of the Cooks Jambalaya Showdown is back.
Join us on Saturday, April 22nd
at the Ochsner Medical Complex at The Grove. We've got cooking teams of pros and joes serving up their best jambalaya and Cajun Creole dishes, all while helping raise dough for local families battling cancer. Bring the whole family for great food, live tunes, and good times. Clash of the Cooks Jambalaya Showdown, presented by Ochsner.
Saturday, April 22nd at lunchtime. Help us paddle it forward. For tickets and more information, go to clashofthecooks.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong. Gulf Coast.
Hanniger joins for the Thursday edition of Handy Time. Ali Cosell from the Bird Rights will be with us, and we'll take a look back at New Orleans and OKC, and Buzzy Hydell on LSU baseball plus his trip to the Masters. Handy Time, noon weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
For tickets and more information, go to clashofthecooks.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong.
Joins for the Thursday edition of Handy Time. Ali Cosell from the Bird Rights will be with us, and we'll take a look back at New Orleans and OKC. And Buzzy Hydell on LSU baseball. Always running for the thrill of it, thrill of it. Always pushing up the hill, searching for the
Esther and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
This is so frustrating. Mason Ginsberg had a tweet last night. It says the Pelicans lost the game by 5. The Pelicans lost the third quarter by 15. The Thunder played 48 minutes out of the center. Jonas Valanciunas went for 16 and 18 on 9 shots. This was Jonas's shot chart in the third quarter, and it's just a blank court. Didn't take a single shot in the third, despite the fact that he was dominating the entire game. Whatever, though. We're going to get to positives. All right.
I said you were going to get the positives.
Yeah. Why not? Why wouldn't we? Dude, there are positives, okay? And we'll start here. Bottom line, I'm not telling you the season was a failure, like I said, but this is a positive. Bottom line, you had a winning regular season, and you did it with your superstars barely playing and all the injury stuff we just talked about, 42-40. Jake, you want to know how rare this is for the Pelicans? This is their first winning season in 5 years.
I know.
It's the second time in 8 years. It's the third time in 13 years. It doesn't happen. I know this sucks, but you do not finish above 500. You're awful. You just don't do it. And so the fact that you did with all of your players not playing was, pretty good. Like I said, like the pain and adjusted expectations due to the great start is going to make this hard to accept. But in terms of regular season record, it is the best season you've had in half a decade. That is factual. Other positives, Brandon Ingram in the final stretch. That looked like a guy capable of leading the franchise. Once he kind of found himself, when the Pelicans became the hottest team in the NBA, yes, competition was a bit easier, but so much of it was Brandon Ingram dominating. I mean, pulling 2 triple-doubles out of nowhere, which he'd never done in his career before. I love the way he was constantly demanding the ball in the fourth quarter down the stretch, Jake, and continuing to hit these insane, crucial fourth quarter shots. And so I love seeing him take over. Right after that, in terms of things to feel great about, how could you not feel great about the continued growth and emergence of Trey Murphy and Herb Jones in year number 2? Like, if you want to talk about real foundational building blocks for the future, these two should get you extremely excited. I mean, Trey Murphy is a bona fide all-star type of potential. I would say Herb Jones is a potential all-star as well, but, like, maybe it's more of an all-defensive team, obviously, because I don't know. Like, he got much better offensively, which is why he's becoming very exciting.
Did he take a step back defensively?
I think that for much of the year, yes, right? I think he was still great. I mean, think about some of the blocks that he's had. I think he got really hot. Both his entire game was struggling for a large portion of the season, and I feel like he closed really strong. But a second-year player, I kind of like that, right? Sophomore slump's a real thing. The refs, you listen to the announcers last night, they were basically talking about how the entire year the refs been calling a bit differently, and he wasn't able to get away with some of the stuff that he was able to get away with last year. I like, if you're asking me, do I think Herb Jones remains an all-NBA defensive type player? Absolutely. I have no problem with that. So maybe his offense never becomes such that he'll be making like all-star games, but all-NBA, that's just as good. And look, I do have trust that you look at those picks. I have trust, and you look at a guy like Dyson Daniels who had, very strong portions as well. I do actually trust Trajan Langdon in the drafting process and the front office when it comes to drafting. Other things to be excited about. I think that Willie Green is not perfect, but still has the potential to be great. Did he make mistakes? Yes. Were some of his rotations inexplicable to those who follow this team obsessively at times? Yes. But at the same time, again, he went 36-46 in year 1 and 42-40 in year 2. And that's a 6-game improvement. You do that again, you're 48-34 next year, and you're a top 4 seed. So, be wary of falling into the trap with Monty Williams where you let your anger and disappointment overcome and you blow up something that was moving in the right direction. I feel like with another year and a bit more health luck, Willie Green will build off of this season and be better next year. I mean, he's a second-year head coach in the NBA. Of course he's going to go through some things where he's looking a little in over his head. He's figuring things out. That's the only way to figure these things out are by doing, right? And I think that Willie Green acquitted himself well with a strong finish and managing to once again overcome just a god-awful stretch and portion of the season. So, look, bona fide superstar in Ingram, 2 excellent building blocks in Murphy and Herb. I believe in the coach. And they numerically improved. Like, I think those are all positives to take away from this season.
So for me, it's just like everything that's good kind of comes with a little bit of bad. And I think you could have that conversation. I do think it's disappointing. We've talked about that already enough. The positives are hard to find for me because, like, players that you were really excited about a year ago, like, you either didn't get to see them to their full potential because they were injured, or maybe they did take it could be a small step back, but they did take a step back. I was looking for more growth in guys like Jackson Hayes that you weren't able to really see this year.
But I see. It's like I had no expectation for Hayes, though. I don't know.
But why? He's a lottery pick.
Yeah,
and you've seen enough flashes.
Maybe I'm
where
wrong for this.
He should be more of a key piece to your team, even if it's a bench piece. There's so many games in a row where it's like he just didn't play.
No, I know, but I'm saying, but it's because
He's
you
a
got
top 10
Jonas,
pick.
who's great. Jonas is, and he would be a positive. I would say Valanciunas.
Okay, but Valanciunas didn't take a shot in the third.
You got
okay,
Larry. You got even Hernan Gomez. Like,
look. Obviously, there's a reason, but that's somebody that, like, you wonder. Okay, no minutes, like not at all. Man won MVP of the Euros, right, with some of the biggest stars in the NBA in that same tournament. So, for me, it's not like an epic failure, but it is disappointing, and I find it hard to find as many positives as you did.
Well, I mean, look, I don't, but do you disagree with any of the positives? Because what you're talking about is a different negative. Like, we can add that to the con list. But do you disagree with any of the positives? I mean, you can't argue with the record. No matter how bad the context of the record hurts, in 82 games, you were better than you were in 82 before. Mm-hmm. You weren't better in the play-in and the playoff, but you were better over 82. And it's the third time in 13 years. I cannot stress that enough. Like, third time you've had a winning record in 13 freaking years. Danny's like 20 years old. It's like the third time in Danny's life the Pelicans have been good. Jacob, how old are you?
26.
There you go. Half of Jacob's life, he's seen 3 winning seasons. And this was one of them. That's all I'm saying.
I do get that.
Oh, crap. We got to go. I just noticed it's 48. I'm getting so fired up about the Pels. Okay, but do you disagree with any of the positives, though? Like, we can continue to add on the negatives. I'm down to do that as well. But do you think Willie Green's not as good as I'm saying?
No, I'm good with Willie. I think Langdon has drafted some really good players. My only criticism of him is don't hold on to some of these players that you're not going to play for no reason. Like, get something for them.
A good point.
Change up the back end of your roster, because I do think they have some value. I do think there's teams that Jackson Hayes could go to where he would be utilized more than you. And if he doesn't fit what you're trying to do, that's okay.
Yeah.
But just move him, get somebody else, and do some different things.
All right. When we get back here on OTB, we'll have a quick segment to close out hour number 1. And then hour 2, we're going to kick off with Coach Torina. And we got some big show news after that. Bittersweet. More off the bench coming up next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
225-206-1517. I hope by now, if you're one of the real ones that hang out with us here every day, I hope by now that you recognize that number. That is Thomas and Megan's cell phone number from Riverlands Insurance. Okay, you call 225-206-1517, just like our guy Gulf South did. You get in touch with Thomas, and he'll answer the phone no matter what. You give him information. He shops around, finds you the best policy, not the cheapest, right? But one that will save you money and still give you the coverage that you need, the best overall policy, and you save hundreds, potentially even thousands of dollars a year. And it's any type of insurance, Jake. Riverlands Insurance, one of the fast-growing companies in the entire South. Riverlands Insurance, 225-206-1517.
Yeah, no matter where you're listening to us in the state of Louisiana, that number is talking to you. And Thomas is going to talk to you as soon as you call, because he's going to answer. That is his cell phone number, He is going to pick up. He's going to tell you exactly what he can do for you, but you won't know until you make that call, 225-206-1517.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Hey, it's Matt Musso. Join me Monday through Friday for your daily update on LSU baseball with Musso at the Box, presented by New Orleans Flooring, wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Google, and check out New Orleans Flooring. 2 locations, Metairie and Prairieville, or NOLAFlooring.com.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon to benefit Dreams Come True, the local organization that grants dreams to Louisiana kids suffering life-threatening illnesses and their families. We've interviewed these incredible kids, and their stories warm our hearts. And none of it would be possible without your help. So we're asking for your support in our effort to making more dreams come true. Each year, our Dreams Come True radiothon is powered by the Baton Rouge Clinic. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com to pledge your support today, and thank you.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walk.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look.
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Clash of the Cooks Jambalaya Showdown is back.
Join us on Saturday, April 22nd.
At the Ochsner Medical Complex at the Grove. We've got cooking teams of pros and joes serving up their best jambalaya and Cajun Creole dishes, all while helping raise dough for local families battling cancer. Bring the whole family for great food, live tunes, and good times. Clash of the Cooks Jambalaya Showdown presented by Ochsner.
Saturday, April 22nd at lunchtime. Help us paddle it forward. For tickets and more information, go to clashofthecooks.com.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Hey, it's join me for Thursday's edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Pels getting you ready for LSU and Kentucky as well, and Joe Healy from D1 Baseball on the SEC slate this weekend. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Okay, closing hour number 1. I'm sorry to do this so short. We did not stick by our promise for these last things. Be 5 and 6 minutes. I blew it on the clock today. I got too fired up talking Pels, man. I don't know what to tell you. It's wrapping up the season, you know. We'll do better in hour 2 and hour 3, right? Can't control the last play. All we can control is the next play. Speaking of which, like I said, we're going to start with Coach Beth Torina, start the next hour, and then we got some big news coming up after that. We still got to get into LSU, Kentucky. Chef Michael Johnson coming up at 9, Coach Jay Johnson coming up at 9:30. How about today, this afternoon, Jake? If you want to watch some sports this afternoon at 2 p.m. on ESPN2, LSU gymnastics, the semifinal begins. They're in a group with Florida, Cal, and Denver, and the top two will emerge. I love this because my sister and her husband, you know where they graduated? Cal. Bears. Screw you, Golden Bears. You're about to suffer. You're Tiger Bait. I'm about to Tiger Bait the hell out of them all day when I see them today. I've never gotten a Tiger Bait a Cal Golden Bear. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be a new experience. I'm so excited. Never Tiger Baited over gymnastics either.
Do you think Cammie or Nick will care?
I don't know. But in my mind, I'm going to make it.
Like, Cammie's probably going to understand because, I mean, she's grown up around it. Like, she understands crazy sports fans. Is Nick going to understand what in the hell's going on?
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Yeah, I actually think, I think Nick probably has a little more Cal pride sports-wise than Cammie does. I'm not sure. Go to AccuTemp in Baton Rouge, AccuTempBR.com, AccuTempBR.com for all your AC, heat, and electrical needs. Y'all check out the reviews online. They're going to blow you away. So when you see service to the highest degree, you know that ain't just talk. They walk the walk, okay? Right now, we've extended the deal through April where if you get a new AC install, you get a free premium clean air package. That's $1,800 of value. Going to drastically clean up the air in your home. Going to probably have you avoid the awful sounding voice that I've had all month long. AccuTemp of Baton Rouge.
Go to the website, AccuTempBR.com. Right there, as soon as you log on, it is going to pull up a chat box. So if you've got a question, a concern, whatever it might be, they can answer that right there on the site. But go check out the online reviews. The online reviews will show you the internet hates everything, but they love AccuTemp and AccuTempBR.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TB to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walk.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, Peter said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Interesting. That's what the music sounds like without the volume sliding. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Our guy Mario Perez called the Pelicans game last night for Spanish broadcast. Did a great job, but he's going to be out till 9 a.m. We got Jacob Beck filling in, doing a great job on the audio side. Danny Cardenas, Jake Hester, and myself hanging out with you today. It's Thursday at 8 a.m., which means only one thing. We're so excited to talk to one of our favorite coaches, Coach Beth Torina, head coach of your LSU softball team. No rest for the weary. An impossibly tough midweek game in a packed Tiger Park earlier this week as they battle number 1 Oklahoma. They two-hit the Sooners, who had a team batting average of nearly 400, but unfortunately just could not scratch any runs across. And, well, guess what you get? Now you get Auburn, another ranked team this weekend. Coach Torina, what's going on? How are we feeling today?
We're feeling good. I was proud of our effort. I was proud of our crowd. Oh, my gosh. Tiger Park showed up on Tuesday night, which was cool. I thought we showed we could play right with them. So, I think if we get them again, it's going to be another battle. And, I think our team really fought. Our pitching staff was awesome. And, I think we showed we can play with them.
Yeah, I know, sometimes, yes, right. Like, I agree with you, right? That's a message that this team should be taking this, because that is an Oklahoma team that statistically is more overwhelming than any team I've ever seen on paper. I've just never seen numbers like that. And so to two-hit them, to battle in the way that you did, certainly that can be built upon. And you're going to look to build upon it this weekend, as tomorrow heading out to Auburn, or maybe heading out today, to take on the Auburn Tigers, another top 25 team. What has the vibe in the locker room been like post-Oklahoma?
I think they feel good about themselves, honestly. I mean, I think, Oklahoma had run ruled 21 of their 30-some opponents this year. So I think they feel like they played with them. I think they feel confident. I think they feel like they're continuing to grow. They're not 100% healthy. They're going to be. And I think, they feel like the best of softball is still in front of them. So excited to take on Auburn this weekend. We leave today. So, but excited to take on Auburn.
Coach, what goes into scheduling a midweek game like that against another power in Oklahoma who, every stat that we give, like 15-1, Oklahoma is this year against top 25 teams in the RPI. So when you schedule a game like that, kind of in the middle of conference play, kind of what was your thought process in putting that game on the schedule?
I think our team comes to LSU to play against the best. So when an opportunity like that comes across your desk, you take it, because I think our team, in order to be the best, you have to play the best, and I don't think they want to back down ever. So it was an exciting night and an incredible, incredible crowd. I hope we can get more crowds like that at the Tiger Park for the remaining 6 games.
And, Coach, what about you look at Sydney Burzum. She's been so good on the mound this year, and really it was a group effort the other night to create that incredible two-hitter. But even then, no earned runs given up for Sydney. How do you feel the freshman acquitted herself throwing her out there against that lineup, which again, as a team, was nearly hitting 400?
It's funny. I had the whole plan. I had matched up hitter to pitcher, and Sydney came out and was so good. I second-guessed the whole thing. She I saw it on paper, was our best matchup with what she does. But she was so sharp in the beginning. I second-guessed the whole thing, and I left her one hitter longer than I had planned on paper.
Wow.
So, maybe if I stick to my guns and go with it, but I know she's so talented, and I think she can go toe-to-toe with them. I think she can pull that off. So it was fun to see her battle, but, after that after that mistake, then went to the plan, and the plan worked. Just should have done it one hitter sooner, like scheduled.
Coach, consider us shocked that you have broken it down so much that you have it on a hitter-by-hitter basis. That's completely shocking coming from you.
Well, you try to identify their weaknesses if there are any over in that dugout, and where that can match up with our staff. And lucky for us, we got some plus change-ups on the staff, which I think, exploits them some. So our pitchers have worked hard to have those pitches, so it was great to see them work.
Coach, so offensively, it doesn't go the way that you want it to, obviously. 3 hits, can't scratch anything across. What, in your film review, what do you think, like, is there a player, an element that who needs to step up to try to change that in the future if you're in another one of these?
Well, it'd be nice to have Taylor Pleasance healthy.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, that would be a game changer for us, I think, if you look at she's still out there. She's still competing. She's still doing it, but we're missing a ton of power numbers from her. But we got the big at bat we wanted. Honestly, Georgia Clark was up with a chance to tie the game, and you felt like standing on that field. I felt like they were worried about it.
Yeah.
They felt nervous. They understood it was one swing, and it was a great at bat. And I'd give it to her 100 more times if you ask me. And I think she's going to be successful in it. So I think we're in the right spot. We're facing an All-American on the mound. So they don't just do it in the box; they do it on the mound too. So we're facing an All-American on the mound, also throwing 70+ miles an hour. So and we're one swing away.
Yeah,
I think that's right where you want to be. Where you want to be.
They had a team ERA of sub-1 team ERA, 22 shutouts, all that stuff. All right, whatever. Jake, unless you have anything on Oklahoma, we're on to Auburn this weekend. We're on to Auburn. The team vibes are high. Talk to us a bit about the Auburn Tigers, kind of the challenge that they represent.
Yeah, I think their big challenge is on the mound for them too. And Penta, she's another hard thrower. She changes speeds well. She's been their girl all year long, and she's been super successful, strong record in conference play. So I think the big thing for them is figuring out Penta. And then their offense is aggressive. They play very, I don't know the right word. They play very in your face. They're very loud. We'll be at their place. So it's going to be a lot of fun. My team's not afraid to match that energy either.
Coach, when you get into like a schedule like the SEC and you're going on the road against Auburn and so many different types of players you're going to face, and you just had to do such a scouting job on Oklahoma, like what's that scouting process for you and your staff to make sure your team does like have all the information? Will you be like on the team plane, kind of going over like all these different matchups, considering like you just face somebody that's different, and every single week in the SEC you're going to face good, but it's going to be different? Like how long does that kind of preparation lead up to the game? Does it go right until the first pitch?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you can find me in the dugout with my computer still out, just making sure I'm checking all the boxes. So, I'm still scrolling through it, making sure that, we're going to make the right decisions, have the right personnel. So, now this little, not going back to Oklahoma, but now that this little thing works with the pitching staff, we got to figure out how we're going to use that too moving forward, right? So, what do you do with that?
All right, Coach, last one for me. The last couple of SEC series, game 1 has not gone how you wanted to, but then the team has showed a ton of resiliency in finding ways to still win the series and fight back in games 2 and 3. Is there any connective tissue there? Like, what do you think you need to do differently to get this series this weekend started on the foot that you're looking for?
Yeah, I'm open to suggestions from you on that question. We just flat out played bad the first 2 games of those 2 series. Just did not play well. Things that were really uncharacteristic for us, I thought. So, I don't know if we're too amped up, too much, prep thinking and not just going out and playing softball and being ourselves. And then, maybe we get into the game and realize, they're just another softball team. So we'll make sure that we're ready to just play LSU softball, be the best version of us. And I think they're going to get a very confident team, though, this weekend.
Hell yes. Can't wait to watch Coach Beth Torina. It's going down Friday, Saturday, Sunday. First game set for 5 p.m. at Auburn this weekend. Coach, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, I won't take any more time away from your prep for the Sliders game this weekend.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm in
know
the
you
film
gotta get
room
ready.
constantly.
So,
I'm in the film room
right,
constantly.
I know.
Yeah.
I know you're scrolling through hitters too, right up at the first pitch.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
I'm definitely not having to miss another game for a family wedding at all. No, definitely not. All right, Coach, you have a great day. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Coach. Safe travels.
LSU Auburn tomorrow, 5 p.m. Let's go. Saturday at 1.
How many games have you
Sunday
missed
3.
compared to how many have you made?
I mean, it's like 50-50. And it's only going to get worse. We just have too many commitments. But I mean, look, to be fair, we have played teams where they have like custom logo shirts, right? And like the players are actually playing positions.
I told you that's not that team's logo, though. That was the older brother's team logo.
Okay, well, whatever.
Try to use that as an excuse.
Whatever. The point is, we have a team of about 20 girls that just want to go out there and just have fun. And so, I don't know. We told them at the beginning it was going to be like this. Go Sliders. All right. When we get back, big show news. Like I said, a bit bittersweet. Keep it locked. Tell your friends. Hit the like button here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to centralplumbing.org. Centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. 925-8552 is the number. Central Plumbing is the name. And, well, you already guessed it. Laying pipe is the game, or fixing pipes. And if you need your pipes worked on, you lay pipe when you build a house. You remodel a bathroom, do you not? Central Plumbing's got your back, man. They've been at it for 50 years nearly. Everybody's licensed, monitored. They got flat rate pricing, so no surprise or BS hidden fees at the end of this thing. Excellent warranty coverage. Everybody's licensed, monitored. They're the best, okay? It's not just repairs, though. 24/7 emergency repairs. Remember that. It's also remodels, too. Or upgrades, even.
It is. Go to that website T gave you, centralplumbing.org. You can click right there. Bathroom remodels on the homepage. That is home or business. So if you own a business, even if it's a big business, you got multiple floors in a big building, it doesn't matter. They can handle that. They got the fleet ready to go. You'll see it there on the homepage, centralplumbing.org, 225-925-8552.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $15,000 off all new 2022 1500 SCA trucks. And all new Bayou automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Cold in Baton Rouge. Operator, what you put me on through? Gotta send my love down the
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Clash of the Cooks Jambalaya Showdown is back.
Join us on Saturday, April 22nd.
At the Ochsner Medical Complex at The Grove. We've got cooking teams of pros and joes serving up their best jambalaya and Cajun Creole dishes, all while helping raise dough for local families battling cancer. Bring the whole family for great food, live tunes, and good times. Clash of the Cooks Jambalaya Showdown presented by Ochsner.
Saturday, April 22nd at lunchtime. Help us paddle it forward. For tickets and more information, go to clashofthecooks.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
The best kept secret.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Game 1, LSU, Kentucky. We're previewing it with Kendall Rogers, and we're recapping Pels Thunder. Join us, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions have an echo in so much space. And when you're out there without care, yeah, I was out of touch. But it wasn't because I didn't know enough. I just knew too much. Does that make me crazy?
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. T-Bob, Jake Jacob, and Danny hanging out with you today. As you said, we got some big show news today. Let's see what some of the guesses are in the chat. Ryan Brack says, bittersweet show news. I'm guessing someone is leaving the show for a promotion. My guess is Mario, hence the new Jacob training. Champ continues to talk about milk cows for some reason. Did a lot of milk cows die? Avo Marzwani thinks Danny's leaving to pursue his OnlyFans career, isn't he? Emil McClellan. Emil says Mario must have gotten caught by the Louisiana State Police. Then him leaving BK double stack rappers at the crime scene was a dead giveaway. So y'all's instincts are close, and some correct. As our boy, after a few years now on the show, our boy Danny Cardenas is moving on. Tomorrow is his last day. We would have saved this announcement for tomorrow, but I'm taking off tomorrow. Jake, are you officially taking off tomorrow?
Yes, I am off. We are having a baby shower.
Yeah. Like I said, I got that wedding to go to. All my family's in town. They all want me to go to New Orleans to hang out with them. So I'm taking off tomorrow. So unfortunately, this is our last day with the favorite producer that I have ever had in doing radio. I think that it is hard to overstate the impact that Danny has had on this show. I mean, if you don't know, if you watch on YouTube, if you just listen, maybe you don't fully appreciate it. But if you watch on YouTube, everything visually is Danny. Like, you look at the logo behind me with the custom crawling kind of the city in the background. You look at any of the merch that has been made, the cool logos, the crazy intros with, like, you know, anime and The Simpsons and all the 80s things. Any of the social media that comes out, Danny does it all. And did it all.
Yeah.
And even the live production of the show, right? We'll be talking about something and clips are immediately popping up.
Yeah, that's where I was about to go. Yeah.
Relevant things. And what's crazy is it's not like Danny gets paid any extra for this. Producers are always criminally underpaid in this business. Just it's awful. It is what it is. It's something that I've seen. I've been in this business for a long time because that I think it's, you know, hard to keep Great talent a lot of times. But I've never worked with anyone that had as much of a self-starting drive as young Daniel did. As, again, all of this stuff that has come to define the show and the overall vibe of the show, he did on his own time at home just because he wanted the show to be as good as it possibly could be, right? And so at a time when we're lamenting, it seems like everybody nowadays always complain about Gen Z and Zion and everything else, and like, these guys don't want to work. Well, Danny is someone who did way more work than he was actually paid to do, and did quality work. And I love you, man. I really do. I really do mean that. Like I said, you're the best producer I've ever worked with. I'm really, really, really sad to see you go. I'm a little scared to see you go. Now, Jacob, excited to have you on the squad for sure, on the team and everything. And I love your vibe and your energy and everything. And I hate that you're having to listen to all this. I don't want you to be intimidated by any shoes to fill or anything. I don't think, we're not holding you to any impossible expectation. You don't have to be Dan or anything. But how many years has it been, Daniel?
So I started in 2017.
Yeah, but how many years, which is crazy to begin with. Yeah, but how many years with OTB specifically?
I want to say
4?
Like as a fill-in for Nathan, or
No, full-time video producer.
Full-time, so at the beginning of COVID.
Okay, yeah, because the Palmer stuff. Sheesh. Wow. So 3 years. 3 years on dot. Damn, dude. You done a hell of a job, Danny.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Did he tell you guys that I basically got on this job?
What?
Did he tell you guys that I basically got on this job?
Wait, what do you mean? I didn't know this.
Wait a minute.
I'm being a little facetious there. I didn't get in the job, but we were in a class together at LSU, and I think it was either Matt or somebody from 104.5 came and talked to our class, and Danny did a lot of video stuff at LSU. I think he worked for Tiger TV, right?
Yeah.
And so I knew he was pretty good at that stuff. Like, dude, you should maybe apply there and see if you can get an internship or something.
Wow. Okay, Jacob. Thank you, dude.
Here
Right
we
on.
are.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. It all comes full circle.
I can't take too much credit, but I like to say that. It's not really how it goes, but I know. Yeah.
No. Look. I know that game as well, right? It's always fun to make the jokes like, I got you this, right? But no, at the end of the day, you only succeed because of the hard work that you put in, and that's exactly what Danny did, and that's why he is moving on now to bigger and better things. I'm sorry, Jake. I'm sucking up all the oxygen in the room. I've been working with Danny for a long time now.
No, I mean, I guess, gosh, we've been together for 2 years now, too.
Yeah.
And I would hustle the heck out of what he was doing on this show when I wasn't on this show.
Yep,
and I always talk about it. I would come in here and say, wait a minute, how do y'all do that? How does he know you're about to go there before you even really go there? And so it's something that I wanted to be a part of. And so when I got on the show, that was one of the things that I was most excited about, was the video production of this show and all the different graphics and all the different things, because for me, the production of this show on the video side of things blows away anything I've seen, certainly in a market our size. And so Danny certainly will be missed. It's one of those things where you always knew that that you were going to lose Danny at some point.
Held on longer than I thought we would.
I know. And we used to talk about it. We talked about it after the show. I think we got, at least for me, I didn't think I'd make it 2 full years with him being the video producer. So I feel very lucky that we had him for the 2 years that I've been here on this show, because again, you thought you were going to lose him every single time. So eventually you were going to, but obviously here on this show, we're always wanting the best for everybody on this show. If Mario, somehow, continue to grow and he gets another big job, which certainly is possible, we will be incredibly happy for him as well. And it shows kind of the work that Danny's put in, the work Mario's put in, the things Mario's getting to do as well. So it's one of those things where you enjoy it, you love it, you're happy for them. You're going to be sad that they're not there anymore, because Danny, you did a hell of a job, and continue to amaze me every single time whenever you come up with something new. Even if it's a random, this happened in 1973 between these two people, and they got together one time, and Danny in 10 seconds has a photo of the 1973 one time that they hung out together. So Danny, going to be missed, man. Congratulations. You absolutely deserve it.
Yeah, it's I think about stuff like the tier list, where he's the one that does all the legwork there. Again, all the video that, if you've seen the Chef Michael Johnson videos, which are so nice and good, and it goes beyond that. But like his videos from like games and everything, his video production is fantastic. Eric Negrin says Danny will be missing the show. Best to him on whatever he does next. Brendan Huff says, T-Bob, are you going to call Danny Daddy now that he's leaving to be with your mom full time? Look, we'll know immediately if that's true or not. Okay, I'm going to see my mother later tonight. I'm going to see her at a hotel room. If Danny's in the hotel room, maybe I'll have to call him Dad. If he's not, I will still hold off on calling him Dad. Again, the Purple and Gold says, good luck, Danny. I love all your merch that I've bought. Hell yeah, Purple and Gold. Shout out. Thank you so much. Brian Bragg says, Jacob trying to start on the T-Bob on the good foot with the Star Wars shirt. Smart. It's a good play, Jake. Did you watch Mandalorian yesterday?
I did.
Look at that. I mean, this guy's awesome. You suck, Danny. You haven't watched a single episode of the new season of Mandalorian, okay? That's why I fired you. You're such a bum. You haven't watched a single. I watched all of Last of Us because you gave me crap for not watching Last of Us. You haven't watched a single episode of Mandalorian.
Because I'm watching Succession right now.
Oh, did you watch episode 3? Oh, my
banger.
gosh.
I don't even want to start with you on promising to watch things that you don't end up watching.
I watched Star Wars.
I watched all. No, you didn't. No, you literally did not.
I watched the first one.
Yeah, exactly. That was not the deal. I sat through 30 hours of Jason Bateman being like, just being cool with like a gun in his face and be like, we got to do some accounting
Okay, are you
stuff.
trying to act like Ozark wasn't good?
It's all right. I never even finished it.
Wow.
Never even finished
It's
it.
all right?
Yeah.
That's
It's
a
all
bad
right.
take.
Wendy's crazy.
That's a bad, yeah. Real crazy. Like I thought Ruth was the crazy one. It's actually Wendy.
Gulf South says, so Danny's been responsible for the growth of the shows. Is he's leaving the show now be stale? Yeah, basically. Yeah, it's what.
That's on Jacob.
That's
No
what,
pressure.
yeah, that's what we're getting
No
at.
pressure. I don't know. Should we go with Beck? I mean, should we go with the last name? Because even I'm getting confused.
I like Jacob, but
other people have called me Beck around here. I mean, I don't
like
care. Like, I don't really care. Either way.
Sometimes last names feel so aggressive to me.
Coming from a football world?
Yeah, I know.
Everybody's
that's
last
probably
name.
why. That's probably why. Because a bunch of a-hole 40-year-old fat guys being like, ugh.
What were you in the locker room? I mean, you got
I was
such a
always
unique
T-Bob.
name.
Yeah. Didn't count.
I mean, I was Hess.
You get a lot of Hess.
Yeah,
for sure.
a lot of Hess. Like Big Fave.
We'll call him Jables.
Hess.
JB. There we go. You little
No,
tenacious
I'm
D
going to go
shout
with
out.
Beck. Finally.
All right, maybe so. It feels
Well, because even though
Beck.
I know who you're talking to, I know he's Jacob and I'm Jake. I mean, some of the listeners still might be confused.
That's
because,
fair.
You know,
That's
played.
fair. It may be. You're right. It may be an on-air requirement to go with Beck. John Joel says, "Damn, Danny, you punk! Bringing Rivers back." Joe LeBlanc says, "That sucks. He's so well established in mockery. First Huntisms and now this. Emil McCollum, you will be missed, Danny. I'm gonna miss living vicariously through Danny's love life. Are you single, Beck? Feels weird.
I'm married.
Crap.
Yeah. Yeah. Beck's been married. He told us that
Jeez.
story. Like, first time we met him.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I was mostly talking to Jake.
Yeah, you're also gonna learn. I don't really,
It's okay.
You're going to learn because you're going to be included now in the group chat.
Yes.
And so you're going to learn. You will put something in the group chat, and 7 minutes later, T-Bob's going to add literally the same story like he never saw it.
Yeah. Well, it's because the group chat is as much
He does it to Danny
is as
all the
much a
time.
show prep
It
receptacle
is.
as it is a
like
conversation
weekend winners
piece.
for sure on the weekend. You start
Yes.
spamming it a little bit. That means, hey, this is going to be a weekend winner for me. But
Yes. I'm laughing because last night I tweeted whatever. That's like not a funny story to explain.
who's going to run your social media now?
Danny. I'm just gonna keep paying him to do that, even though I may have to pay him less because he's probably not gonna be doing OTB stuff anymore.
That's right.
So that's a significant workload portion taken off.
I'll still be doing TikTok. Dude, y'all, our TikTok growth is pretty good. Like,
Really?
Yeah. I know y'all haven't been paying attention to it, but
'cause we're not on
it's,
it.
it's,
Okay.
it's getting numbers a lot more than Instagram.
Okay. But can you keep that up? Can you realistically get because that requires you watching the show, right? Or maybe it requires me leading you there. Whatever. This is off-air conversation. we can have this conversation later. But yes, behind closed doors, if you want to peek, I pay Danny to do my social media. I'm old. I'm not good at it. He is, and I've never made if you're a fellow old person who has to use social media for your job and you can swing it, it's the best decision I've ever made in my entire life. is not having to worry about it, but know that I'm also like doing the posting that I technically need to do. It's fantastic. Man, so we don't have a single boy left in here, huh? And then we're to live vicariously through. Jeff G, Danny, will you still listen to OTB? No chance.
No. He ain't waking up early.
Yeah, it depends time zone I'm in.
How excited are
That's
you
true.
to sleep in?
That's true. If you somehow find your way on the West Coast, then you'll be good. Like you'll be waking up as
Yeah.
Where are you going? Where are you going to live?
I mean, like
yet?
catch it like obviously like on replay.
Are you going to Miami? You go to New York? I figured out yesterday that Nebraska isn't by Michigan and Ohio at all.
No, that's
It's
why we
by
make fun of it in the
Dakota
Big Ten.
and Iowa and stuff.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, I mean, you also thought New Jersey was a city, so
It still is.
no, New Jersey City.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God, you didn't know it was a state. Let's just put it that way.
I'm not sure that it is. Okay?
No.
I mean, the whole entire Northeast is just a wild amalgamation of lines. I've heard of New Hampshire.
Yeah, it's way up there.
But yeah, look at that. Nebraska's all the way
Yeah.
up here. Is that where you're going, Danny? Heading to
No
Lincoln?
chance.
No chance? Cost of living?
No.
Oh, wow. So where will Daniel Cardenas be ended up living, do you think?
It's still undecided.
Okay.
I got a couple of choices. Big markets.
Trent Ridge says, you found out yesterday? No, we did not find out yesterday. We have known for a while.
We've always known.
A lot of people are lamenting my lack of geography. Okay. Hey, guys, how about this? Name me a less useful skill than geography. Because from where I sit, I don't know that I have ever needed to know geography in my entire life. It is a Google
I don't
search
know.
away.
This is someone who has taken a lot of math, and math is something that I actually do enjoy. A lot of the math that I did in college, I've not used it one time. I'm talking about high level. Like if my GPA went under a 3.0 and I'm like, got to get it back up there, like I'm taking a math course.
So my only counter argument there, because I feel you, we don't use it in our everyday life, obviously, is that I do think, if nothing else, though, that at least grew your brain. Like you learned valuable things about problem solving, equations,
Geography,
concepts.
though, at one time in the world, like it did
Super
mean everything.
important. Meant everything.
Yeah.
Meant everything, right? Math did too.
Yeah.
Right? So everything's taken on less importance in the internet age, but geography suffered more than most. I mean, it's just so easy.
What was we filled out the map and I got it.
I think I got like 32 or something.
I got 50 out of 50, but what was my time?
I can't remember. Very quick. Now, this is where, Greg Lamont does raise a good point. This is where I become there's a huge disconnect, and then this is bad for me in that I love history, but I don't know anything about geography, and so I am constantly having to reference maps when I'm reading stuff because I cannot keep it in my head where everything is going down. I know
But
that Italy looks like a boot.
You could probably give me the map from Lord of the Rings pretty quickly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so it's really just a desire thing. Even if I asked you like Game of Thrones map, you probably have not as much knowledge, but I feel like you could give me that more than you can give me this.
No, I can dominate a Game of Thrones map because I played that board game probably about 50 times, which is basically Risk, but on on the Westeros map. So like, yeah, I know Westeros top to bottom. I got a really good grasp. But it's one map. It's like a state. It's like it's not that much. Middle Earth's not that big. Poll today: if T-Bob was not on the football team at LSU, would he have degree? I probably would have a better degree. I probably would not have a general studies degree.
I don't know.
What do you mean?
I don't know, because you're certainly smart enough to get a degree. That is not the conversation at all. But I think you're into so many different things that you would be successful without a degree.
No, I would have a degree, though, because I just, whatever. I mean, you know how it is. We committed everything to football back in the day.
That's fair.
For better or worse. I got out of school.
The biggest
and I was
surprise
like,
is that you are a general studies
all I
major.
did was football that entire time.
What was it? What do you think was landlocked back in the day? Which European country?
I still think Germany is, for the record. Okay?
Like it's literally like a lot of coast.
Okay, well, how about this? How about this? Why don't you have a better Navy? Okay, Germany, step up, right? Right?
Maybe like how much money they have,
What do you mean?
Maybe they just don't have enough to make a massive Navy.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Like what? Like the most successful European economy in the world. You're right. Yeah, probably doesn't have enough to make a Navy.
Or
Good
they
call,
just
Beck.
don't
Get the hell out of here, Jake. No. No, but sorry, I'm not even coming though. Now you're actually probably right from a historical perspective. I don't know as much. Like, I understand why England had a great navy. They're a freaking island, okay? But France and Germany should be better, and they were always screwed up. Get a better navy, Germany. If you're not going to be landlocked, get a better navy.
The fact that the biggest
That's
surprise.
not that much coast, guys. It's really not that much coast. That is an essential landlock. Sweden and Norway.
That's a lot of coast.
If
What are
we
you
just
talking
bump
about?
this down, no, because that's Denmark.
I know that.
So if we just bump
I
down
actually
Sweden
know.
and Norway, it's landlocked. Look, use Pangea.
The whole northern part of the country,
It's like
basically.
Pangea. Look at that.
is coastal.
Just slots right in there.
And with your knowledge of World War II stuff, I would have thought you knew that.
What?
That there was coastline. in
Exactly.
Germany.
Why am I only? I mean, I guess you read about like German U-boats. That is fair.
We should probably go to break.
Oh yeah, we should go to break.
Yeah, probably should.
We
love you, Danny.
Yeah, love you, Danny.
Love you guys.
Sad to see you go. You can hear from Danny, even though he is, notoriously quiet sometimes on the show, getting in his little dry little insults here and there.
Oh my!
You can hear
God.
from Danny on the other side of the break. We'll let him talk. More to be next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, I want to tell you about a new advertiser we have here, and it's Advanced Eye Center. We went and saw Dr. Zhang a couple days ago, Jake. Not to brag, I got 99 hand-eye coordination, some sort of superhuman. Dr. Zhang says he's never seen it before. And I'm also a very successful athlete, obviously, right? So if you want that for your child, engage in some sports vision training. Dr. Zhang is she's been doing this for over 40 years, y'all, way ahead of the game. This is some fascinating technology that can lead to immediate improvement and results. Like, you don't even know how you're always getting held back on the field, on the court, whatever. And if you want your child to be set up to succeed, well, they got a couple camps going down this summer. Session 1 is going to be June 2nd, 9th, and 16th. Session 2, July 7th, 14th, and 21st. Now, there is limited availability. I look forward to kind of talking about this more as it goes on and really explaining what this is. But right now, if this sounds interesting to you, head to the Advanced Eye Center Facebook and sign your child up today. Look, you want to make sure that they're put in a position to succeed. And the Advanced Eye Center and Dr. John can do that by maximizing their potential, improving hand-eye depth perception, all of that. Advanced Eye Center.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can get 3.99% financing on select 2023 models. And we also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon to benefit Dreams Come True, the local organization that grants dreams to Louisiana kids suffering life-threatening illnesses and their families. We've interviewed these incredible kids, and their stories warm our hearts. And none of it would be possible without your help. So we're asking for your support in our effort to making more dreams come true. Each year, our Dreams Come True radiothon is powered by the Baton Rouge Clinic. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com to pledge your support today, and thank you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walk.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green. This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good look.
Charles Hannegriff, join us for the Thursday night edition of Jimmy Ott's Game Time from the original walk-ons across from Alex Box Stadium before LSU and Kentucky. Jimmy Ott's Game Time, 6 p.m. weeknights on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Danny, why aren't you using like some of the Rambo intros, some of the other stuff you made? Did we have to stop that?
No, I wasn't thinking about it.
Senioritis?
Senioritis is so bad with him right now, guys. That's the other part of all this. I mean, he's completely checked out.
I mean, he's here, but he's not.
He's just throwing up decorations on the.
He was playing on the video. He was doing the All-Star graphics, and we were doing Donaldsonville.
That's right. He just threw these helmets and scarf up.
I mean,
as the show
literally,
started.
like just 30 seconds.
Just puked it out over there.
I had to get my own microphone again today.
Wow, unbelievable.
Wow.
Well, I mean, somebody changed some rules in the studio. So
Daniel, we have not let you speak yet. What do you want to say to the thousands upon thousands of people who are sad to see you go?
I'll always love this show. I've never enjoyed working so much as working here in the studio with y'all guys. I feel like we're brothers at this point.
Yeah, I agree.
So like that bond will never go away from me. I'll always keep in touch with
y'all.
From a city that we all desire to live in, Danny will be there.
I don't know. I have no desire to live in Miami. And you know what? I think I finally got past the New York City phase of my life. I talked about this, but like last time me and my family went to New York, I really felt like a rube. Every other time I'd ever been in my life, I've been like, I felt I left with like a desire of, I would love to live here for like a year or two, right? And just test myself and like be in it and the energy and everything. This last time I went, I was kind of looking up like, man, there's some tall buildings around here. And there sure is a lot of people. Well, I don't know about this. This is a little overwhelming. So yeah, no, I don't know if I'd actually want to live where Danny's gonna end up living, wherever that may be. And I have no desire for Miami.
You know where I stand on this, Danny. You know where I stand.
What?
I would like New York City. Like I want to live in a walking city. That'd be awesome. Like where Danny's currently at, that'd be awesome. If he lives on the West Coast, y'all already know how I feel about that as well.
Well, to be clear, I'm not saying if I was in Danny's situation. If I was in Danny's situation, I would absolutely still want to live in New York. I'm a young mid-20s worker boy.
No, with 5 children living in New York. No,
that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. If I was young Daniel.
Yes, I'm saying that door has closed on us. Yes, hold the mayo. Benny's gone. Benny the Jet Rodriguez is jetting off. Unfortunately. I mean, how am I going to make vaguely racist Mexican jokes now, Danny, and get away with them?
You'll have to.
Jacob's not even Mexican.
He's not.
What the hell? Oh,
part Mexican.
Oh,
no.
Well, he lived in Texas, so.
Okay, that kind of counts. Yeah, it's fair. Trey Truitt blew my mind, by the way. All of South America's east of Michigan. And Michigan's already way more east than I ever remembered. That's just, it's crazy, man. Maps are weird. That's where I stand on it. Yep, it's me, y'all. Says Danny quitting before he has another job lined up. LOL, rookie move. Joke's on you. He absolutely has another job lined up, you idiot. Duh. Joe LeBlanc says, T-Bob, I have a copy of the ship's log of my grandfather's ship in World War II. I know you'd appreciate it. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. That's awesome. I would love nothing more to see that. We'll leave it up to Danny to announce whenever he wants to where he is going and whatnot.
I'll just say it's a remote job, so I can move.
Yeah.
I'm able to move wherever I want in the country.
Yeah, video production's a hell of a thing. You can, as long
that's why we're talking about different places he could live.
As long as
not
Danny
because
has
he
a
doesn't
computer.
know, but he has a
Yeah,
choice.
that's a good point. As long as Danny has a computer, he can do his work.
I even thought about Europe for a second.
This dude, my man.
Why not?
I mean,
why not, Danny? The world's your oyster right now. Why not?
Like the last couple of months, years, it's France and Italy, right? And I remember Italy.
Italy.
Did you go to France?
No.
Okay.
I went to London, Italy.
Okay, I knew it was something else.
All right, I want to stay on this topic. We got to go to break, and when we get back, I want to stay on this. More off the bench coming up next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Get Gordon and get it done. 225-888-8888. The Gord father of NIL has created the G Team. And, well, guess what, Jake? All your favorite athletes are on the G Team. Go check out the Grubbin' with G series. You can follow Gordon on Instagram, Twitter, wherever at Get Gordon, and you can see his sit-downs with Flau'jae Johnson, with Angel Reese. I kind of love it. Him and Flau'jae are... I told you, everybody's having this conversation. They're like talking about how Gen Z doesn't want to work, but Flau'jae works her ass off. And you know what got her? A natty. You know who's going to work their ass off for you? Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, 225-888-8888.
Go to the website, getgordon.com. If you can't get to a phone and dial the 8, you can always do it right there online because you can have a chat online. So whatever you've got coming up, you can ask that question. Check out a list of cases they can handle for you. All that on the website. Again, getgordon.com. On social media, the handle at getgordon. And T-Bob gave it to you. The area code in Louisiana, followed by the 8s. 888-8888.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TB to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, Hudco can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call Hudco Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you.
In for live play-by-play this weekend when the Yankees host the Twins Saturday at noon and Sunday the Astros host the Rangers at 6 p.m. Plus the Cavs host the Knicks Saturday at 5 p.m. in the NBA playoffs on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
For my life from the long arm of the law. Lawman is putting an end to my running, and I'm so far from my home. Oh, mama, I can hear you a-crying. You're so scared and all alone. Hangman is coming down from the gallows, and I don't have very long.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
I know I've told this story 1,000 times, but when I hear that song, I can feel Lamar Woodley like on my shoulder. I can feel Lawrence Timmons breathing down my neck. It's just I can see. I know it's not Heinz Field anymore, but it's always going to be Heinz Field. Sticks, shirts off, snowing, terrible towels going everywhere as we walked out for a playoff game. And at that moment, I knew we're about to get our ass whipped.
That was so they would play this in the stadium?
This is the song they play in Heinz, and the crowd goes crazy. But Sticks was on the field.
Oh, nice.
Live. It was a playoff game, so, they go the extra mile. No shirts on in a blizzard.
Hell yeah.
I was like, oh, boy. We're coming from Southern California. Now, we held our own for a bit. It's the year the Steelers actually won the Super Bowl in 2008. But,
Hangman was indeed coming down.
Yeah, and LT got hurt early in that game. Sproulsy got hurt in that game. Tolbert was already out of that game, so I was the only back left in the second half of that game. And Pittsburgh was blitzing every play because that's what Pittsburgh did at that point. And I was just like, every play. I don't know if I got out into a route. It's like blitz pickup. Blitz pickup. Blitz pickup. And I was like, RC, if y'all blitz one more time.
Yeah, that sounds awful. Sounds very tough. I got a headache just listening to that story, actually. Picking up that many guys just free running at you. So we actually have confirmation where Danny's going to work next. So as many of you knows, the top G, Andrew Tate, has been sent to Romanian jail, but we're hoping that he's going to get out soon here. And, Tate built an empire off of manipulating and taking advantage of girls and creating a cam girl empire. Well, he's working on creating a cam boy empire. And Danny is going to be the first. He's kind of like a player coach hybrid. He's going to be part cammer, also part video production. Instead of the top G, Danny's going to be the top D. So, Danny, congratulations on joining with your Sigma male brethren. I know you've been really wanting this for a long time. I'm very happy for you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and I look forward to watching your videos. I want to see how you spice it up, kind of make things interesting. Get me to pay you. See what you can do. I still don't actually understand if Andrew Tate's in jail or not.
I'm pretty sure he's not because he's already talked to the media. You mean like is he on house arrest or not?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's not. He's definitely not physically in jail.
Oh, he's not in jail anymore?
Yeah.
Physically? Huh. Okay, you're right. I did see that he was having some sort of live stream that he was asking his fans to pay for, explaining his situation, which is interesting to me. That, like, if it was really all good, would you be charging a fee to your innocent claim stream? I don't know, whatever. I loathe Andrew Tate, to be painfully clear. I hate him with the passion of 1,000 burning suns. I think he's a horrible influence on young men. I think he sells you a BF lifestyle that works in your psychology, is an incredibly tempting, but incredibly morally bankrupt and just ethically bad. And I think he's a piece of human trash. And, well, I'm sad that you're going to work for him, Danny. I wish you would have made a better decision. But, here we are. The only thing worse than Andrew Tate, the German Navy. Get it together, guys. Coming up next, hour number 3 of OTB. We'll kick it off with a little Munchies with Chef Michael Johnson. Then we got Coach Jay Johnson coming on to break down some LSU Kentucky. Remember, series starting tonight. How about that? Nice little afternoon sports. LSU Gym at 2. LSU Kentucky at 6. Love it. Ooh.
I know. I'm going to be, I'll be wrapping up. This will be my last show of the week when Off Campus finishes up at 5. And not often, they get a chance to enjoy what we've got going on.
Skeins
tonight.
and beers. The best. Yeah. Beers and skeins. Drinks and skeins. Did you watch the British show Skins back in the day?
On MTV?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the American version.
Oh.
The British version.
Yeah. I don't know.
It was good.
Maybe.
You can just cut us off, Jake.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bone.
Bayou Ford has $2,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% APR for 84 months on new 22 Ford Expeditions. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon to benefit Dreams Come True, the local organization that grants dreams to Louisiana kids suffering life-threatening illnesses and their families. We've interviewed these incredible kids, and their stories warm our hearts. And none of it would be possible without your help. So we're asking for your support in our effort to making more dreams come true. Each year, our Dreams Come True radiothon is powered by the Baton Rouge Clinic. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com to pledge your support today, and thank you.
Clash of the Cooks Jambalaya Showdown is back. Join us on Saturday, April 22nd at the Ochsner Medical Complex at The Grove. We've got cooking teams of pros and joes serving up their best jambalaya and Cajun Creole dishes, all while helping raise dough for local families battling cancer. Bring the whole family for great food, live tunes, and good times. Clash of the Cooks Jambalaya Showdown presented by Ochsner. Saturday, April 22nd at lunchtime. Help us paddle it forward. For tickets and more information, go to clashofthecooks.com. All right.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
You were hit by a big truck, a smart car, or anything in between. I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA 21-12671. Offices in Baton Rouge.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Let we go.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Welcome back, hour number 3. What's happening, y'all? OTB. Oh, it's all good. It's all good.
That just abruptly ended.
It's all good. Yeah, that was odd feeling. It was like whiplash. We got Chef on the phone?
We do.
Okay, right on. How do you have all these numbers, Jacob? Great start for you today, by the way.
Mario just sent them to me.
Star Wars. Okay, good job of Mario. Good job of Mario. Why does Mario ask me for numbers so much then? I don't know. Well, he never asked you. Chef Michael Johnson. It's time for Munchies, where Chef answers all of your culinary queries every single week here on OTB. Jake, you may have to help me out with the questions here as, imagine this, my internet not really working
again
on this old computer.
It is not the internet.
I know. I said on this old computer. I said
dinosaur that you have.
said
You used to
this
make
is
fun of me.
2018.
Remember, you used to make fun of me. You're like, pull up and see how old that computer is.
Bro, you had like a 2011. Okay, relax.
It's 13, I think.
It was completely different.
It's no longer here.
Thing was thick.
It's no longer with us.
It's heavy.
Hey, you could put a CD into it.
Yeah, exactly. That's
man.
the problem. Exactly.
Oh, easy, Chef.
Exactly,
Easy.
Chef.
That
Yeah.
stray was not needed.
Chef Michael Johnson, our favorite chef. Chef, in case you didn't hear the news, Danny's leaving us. Tomorrow's his last day.
Man.
Yeah. We're losing a great producer here, man. Anything you want to say to young Daniel?
Well, it's been good. I appreciate everything. You know, it's always been nice working with you, and best of luck with you.
Yeah, the video was cool, man, weren't they? The videos he made.
Oh yeah,
when you were in
incredible.
studio, they were always awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Hashtag Munchies. Oh, and for this, Jake, just give me like usually just some sort of jazzy undertones. You know, Louis plays a lot. It might probably in the bank there somewhere, just kind of at a low volume. Hashtag Munchies. What's the worst nickname you have given a customer you did not like? This feels a little inspired by The Menu. I know a movie that touched you. What's the nickname that have you ever given a nickname to a customer you didn't like?
So we gave a nickname to a particular kind of customer, and it was I don't know why, but it was Jan and Jim, and so Jan and Jim were the customers that walk in at 10:30 when you close at 10:30, and you know want to get sat, and you know it's just kind of like these two random customers that come in. They don't have any you know like etiquette as to you know walking in at closing time and knowing what that does to the kitchen. You know, like we're gonna feed you, but we don't like you. You know what I mean? Like and in a professional setting, you're gonna deal with it and you move through it and it's fine, but you know, when you're 20 something and it's 10:30 and you know, like 10:30 at 20 something, you're not going home to go to bed. You're fixing to you know go rampage somewhere. So it was cutting into your social life is what it was. Yeah.
What's an appropriate time? Chef?
Yes.
That's gonna be my fault. What's an appropriate time if you close at 10:30? What's an appropriate time for someone to come in where you don't have a heavy sigh?
You know, I mean, even like 10 o'clock to me, you know, like I'm not going to go into a restaurant later than 10 o'clock if they close at 10:30. And that's just me. Like maybe even 10:15 if I go in and say, hey, listen, we're gonna take 2 minutes. We're just hungry. We want to eat real quick. But this was at like a high end steak restaurant where it's going to probably be an hour and a half longer, of going through several courses of meal. And that's it. Like, it depends on it. You need to know, like, how much are you going to eat? How much are you intending on sitting there and eating while you're doing this? So, if you're planning on being there for an hour and a half, like walking in at 10:30 is going to set a tone for the kitchen.
What if I walk in and I'm like, look, I'm looking for a quick bite. If I'm putting you out, no big deal. I'll step out these doors. Or does that not matter because you can't really say, no, you're putting me out?
No, absolutely. Like, that humbles yourself to the kitchen and the restaurateurs, right? Like, when you walk in and you're aware of it and you come in and you say, hey, listen, we realize we're walking in late. We just want a quick bite. We want, we'll order one course and we're going to be out of your here. That tells the kitchen and that tells the service staff, like, we're being considerate of you guys. We understand what we're doing, but we're allowing you to make the decision here. If you don't want us here, and I think that's just kind of humbling yourself to who they are. Like, when you walk in and there's expectations of you guys are going to serve us and you guys are going to feed us because hours are open. You might get a burnt steak,
I would say that would be on the lower end of what I would be concerned about, Jeff.
That'd be the last thing.
I can handle a burnt steak.
Yeah, we've all seen Waiting, okay?
Exactly. That's what I was thinking of. Hashtag Munchies. What's the best way to cook grilled onions? What's the best onion to use?
I like Vidalia onions or Walla Walla onions. So Vidalia onions are obviously the sweet onion from Georgia.
Yep.
But Walla Wallas are a similarly sweet onion from Washington. They're grown that way, and I like to melt them, like turn them on really low and just cook them down nice and slow. A lot of people think that caramelizing onions is this high heat process where you add sugar to them to get color. But realistically, like, if you cook them down slow and low, those natural sugars build as you do, and it just turns into something wonderful.
I never knew that.
I did not either.
Wow.
Something every week we learn. Hashtag Munchies. Where should T-Bop, Hester, and Mario take Danny out for lunch today?
Oh, man, that's a tough one, dude. I mean, it's dependent on how much time you have and everything else. But I don't know. I like that taco place down the street from y'all.
Yeah, it's
Soji's
cool.
Soji's a good spot too. I mean, you guys have a lot of Elsie's Pies is one of my favorites, man.
Another good one.
They have some, they have some great food there too. So you guys have some good food down there.
Shouldn't Danny be taking us out though?
Yeah, for real.
Danny's about to be balling.
No, I'll say this about Elsie's. It is very good. But in terms of fatness, the crackling with the queso dip is maybe the fattest thing I've ever. Like, I ate it one time and I could feel my arteries starting to. It was delicious. It was. How could it not be? It's crackling queso, but it was extreme. It was pretty extreme. Hashtag Munchies. What's the best trick or technique you learned from a fellow chef?
Oh man, that's been a lifetime of those.
Yeah.
Brother. I mean, I think one of my favorites is if you have a ceramic plate, and most people have ceramic plates, like, you can turn that plate over and there's a little edge on the rim of the plate where it sits on the table or whatever.
Yeah.
And that rim always has raw ceramic on it. Like,
yes.
It's very rarely covered in glaze because that's the part that sits in the kiln, right?
Yeah, it's because you fire it, right? It's like any pottery, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So you can take a serrated and run it across that slowly, and it will sharpen a serrated knife blade.
What?
And that little edge gets into like a burn, sharpen your knife back up, and I use that constantly. Like, that's one that I've held on to for a very long time.
Bro, that's a crazy little kitchen hack. So if you have a serrated knife, flip over the ceramic plate, and where okay. Cool.
That might be our next video. Now, you still have to feed us, Chef, because you've done too well in that department, but maybe we can eat, and then you can do like 3 little kitchen hacks.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Super easy. Yeah, I think that would be fun.
I like this question from me and McCollum. Hashtag Munchies. What's a dish you hate to make but love to eat?
I hate to make. I love cooking, so that's it.
It is a tough one. I mean,
souffles. As hell.
I'm sorry, Chef. You're cutting out for some reason. We're starting to lose phone service. Let's try one. Let's try one. You want to try another question? Then we can let Chef off early today if it's not working. Hashtag Munchies. You have to banish one spice out of your cabinet. What is it? And how will you cope with never using it again?
Hello.
Okay.
We don't have.
Chef, we're going to text you. I love you. I love you, Chef. You're the best.
Sorry, guys.
No,
Sorry.
no. Don't apologize. We love you. Look, it's not you. It's the phones.
Not
we
you,
love
it's
you
us.
so much.
Hey, Chef.
And you've already given us a lot of valuable information this week. So enjoy it. We didn't keep you for like 20 minutes this week like we normally do. We love you, Chef. Have a great day. Chef Michael Johnson, Munchies every single week here on OTB. Executive Chef for LSU. He is the absolute best. We love him. More Off the Bench coming up next.
OTB, OT.
Hey, y'all. We keep talking about it, okay? But I love ITI Technical College. I believe in ITI Technical College. And the reason why I love it is because they're local, they're family-owned, and for 50 years, they've been changing Louisianians' lives, right? Giving people careers. If you feel like you're stuck in a job and you have fear of the future, right, but you want a career, in just 2 years, ITI can make your dreams come true. I mentioned 50 years. Chances are a lot of you listening, you're graduates. You can speak firsthand to it. And look, go find ITI on social media, and we want you to get involved. They got a ton of great events planned for this year. But if you want to become a part of that number, go to iticollege.edu today and change your life for the better.
Yeah, go to the website. It's got all the information there, different financial aid. You can see the campus. We encourage you to go visit the campus off Airline Highway. Pick up the phone, give them a call today as well. They're going to help you get to the finish line. They're going to work with your schedule. That number, 225-267-8003, and always online, iticollege.edu.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of.
Charles Hanniger joins us for the Thursday edition of Handy Time. Ali Cosell from the Bird Rights will be with us, and we'll take a look back at New Orleans and OKC, and Buzzy Heidel on LSU baseball, plus his trip to the Masters. Handy Time, noon weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
All right, we got Coach Jay Johnson coming up next here on OTB. As we got a Thursday series, boys, Paul Skeens, spy ticket to the show on the mound tonight. Hopefully freaking weather won't ruin it this week. And you're going against the Kentucky Wildcats, who are currently the #1 team in the nation in RPI. A couple interesting things to note. Yesterday, Jay Johnson, talking to the media, names Christian Little as the day 3 starter, right? Which, you know, obviously he kind of struggled, 40 pitches to fight through that first inning the other night.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect him to, go deep into that game. It's, maybe a Johnny Holstaff situation, depending on how the first 2 games of the series play out.
Fair.
Like, you don't really know what you're going to have available in that third game. So, obviously, we could see a lot of different scenarios play out in the third game.
Yeah, more important than ever for Skeens to go deep, which he should, Jake. Oh, by the way, Ty Floyd remains the day 2 starter. But Skeens should have a solid day as Kentucky strikes out the 3rd most in the SEC. So expect a lot more Ks out of Skeensy boys. I will say this. Kentucky, I don't know exactly what to make of them. They haven't played the hardest schedule. They've been really damn good in the schedule that they have played in terms of wins and losses. They're not particularly overpowering, but they're kind of a throwback. They do a lot of small ball, Jake. Dead last in home runs, but lead the SEC in stolen bases with 57, lead in attempts. They've attempted over 70, lead in sacrifice bunts. So they're pretty good about getting on base, right? A team batting average of 299. And then once they get on base, they're going to do everything they can to try to push runs across that, in the old school way, not just, hey, let's hit home runs.
Yeah, they are. You mentioned it, 299. That's 5th best in the SEC. Slugging percentage, though, 13th. In the SEC. So to your point, they're not going to try to hit the long ball. They're trying to get on base, and they do at a very high clip. 434 as far as a team on base percentage. That is 3rd best in the SEC. And so they want to, manufacture runs the old school way and the old school National League way. The old school, if you watch Texas baseball, that they used to try to manufacture runs. And look, it can be annoying if you're out there on the mound. Like, even if you're pitching well, it's like, man, I struck out the first 2, I'll walk 1 guy, and then all of a sudden you steal a base, and then they get like a little Texas leaguer, and all of a sudden I'm down 1-0. That's how Kentucky wants to play this game. And so the pitchers have to stay locked in, not get frustrated with the small ball, and go out there and try to dominate a team that, look, they're not going to hit for power. So you have to understand that's what their approach is going to be, and you got to pitch to that approach.
Yeah, and look, at the end of the day, I still like LSU, even with whatever pitching. Like, when I talk about the pitching concerns that I have, Jake, it's not really as much on a regular season worry, right? Like, I still think the bats are so overwhelming that they will be able to just roll over almost any team in 2 of 3 games. Almost any team. Where I get concerned is what happens, you have high goals for this team. You've been #1 in the country the entire year. So, again, what happens when you get to your playoffs, tournaments? That's when pitching's going to – that's when I start to become – but like this weekend against Kentucky, Kentucky's a very good team, obviously, right? It's by no accident that they're #1 in RPI, but I still think the LSU bats are so full, so relentless that I think – and especially combined with Skeens just setting you up for that Friday night win, you should be able to get 2 or 3 this weekend.
would
Absolutely.
still-
You're at home, too.
You are, and this would be a great series, I think, for some pitchers to gain their confidence back.
Yeah.
Because Kentucky, again, like, can they score runs? They can, but also you have advantages. You mentioned home runs, dead last in the SEC, and not even close.
Yeah, no.
A&M's 13th at 36 home runs. Kentucky's 14th with 22.
I didn't realize it was that
big
of a
huge
gap.
gap. Total bases, Kentucky 14th in the SEC as far as total bases. Again, not close. Missouri at 13's got 478. They've got 458. So you have advantages there. You have to take fully advantage of those, but I'm more worried about what confidence can some of those pitchers that have been struggling that you're going to need. If these injuries look like they're going to play out like, unfortunately, they look like right now with Shores and others, you're going to have guys step up, and this is a great series. You're challenged because you're playing a good team. Now, we're giving you all these numbers. I think you have advantages. It's still a really good team. And number one in the RPI. They're a top 25 team, certainly, and they've won a lot of baseball games. So you're still playing a good team, but you can go out there and gain that confidence by pitching to what they don't do well.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. You don't have to be too afraid. Like every other team you've played have been some mashers. When you talk about South Carolina, Tennessee, and others, and you could it just having runs bunt and stolen across on you feels bad, but I don't think it feels as bad as just getting one just like slammed.
I mean,
out of the park.
sack bunts. To your point, I mean 30.
Yeah.
30 sacrifice bunts. Second, Alabama, 12.
Oh, again, I did not realize how big that gap is. So Kentucky's going full old school small ball.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Tonight at 6. We're having a conversation here in the studio about which former producer I sent harder for, Rivers or Danny. And well, there's a few different elements in play here.
Danny, can you throw that into the chat?
What's that?
The poll? Which one maybe?
Oh, yeah. City's Make a Trust poll question of the day.
Oh, yeah.
Which former producer does T-Bop send harder for,
former.
Rivers or Danny? I know it hurts. It hurts here. It hurts to hear, certainly. Now, I think, I did just spend an hour waxing poetic about Danny, so I think it's Danny, but Rivers was a part of the show longer. All right, we're talking about 3.5 years to basically 3. Rivers texted me that she basically gave birth to Danny. So I guess you're kind of like Rivers' third child. And her little production child. Do you have any rebuttal?
Her little production child?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That sounds very weird. And I don't even know.
The entire conversation
It's not
is
about how
tinged
you
with
got
weird.
here. It's about
dream
what
of-
you did since
She had a
you've been
dream.
here.
She had a dream about her child giving her a massage.
I forgot about that. Okay, there's a callback from Danny. Rivers did one time come in here on a Friday talking about she had a dream that Danny gave her a massage. I can't remember the quality of the massage. Was it good or bad?
She said it was really good.
Oh, wow. Hey,
She said she was craving a massage all day, and I gave her one.
Wow. Yeah, Sigmund Freud would have a field day with that one, I would say. Then again, Sigmund just thought everything went back to sex, which, maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's right. Maybe he's wrong. You know what? I think I simp for both of y'all equally. I think y'all both did incredible work here on Off the Bench. And I was very sad to see her go, and I'm very sad to see you go as well. Unfortunately, I don't know that you'll still be able to join us in studio on Fridays, as you'll be living in South Beach.
He could via Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no chance.
You're right.
Danny, what are you most looking forward to?
I like that he
He's
giggled.
like, what are you most looking forward to post OTB?
Sleeping for
Gotta
sure
be.
in the morning.
Gotta be. Right? Gotta be. I've already accepted I'm never going to sleep again, but it's got to feel so good to know you can start waking up at 7 a.m., 8 a.m., maybe even 9 a.m. sometimes. Hell yeah.
Yep.
Like all of a sudden at night, the world is going to be your oyster, right? You're going to be able to go out and do whatever you want.
It'll be wild times, sure, especially if I'm in New York.
Yeah.
Every time with Nathan in New York, it's always a good time.
I feel like we're going to have like an True Hollywood story where Danny his entire life falls apart because he's lost the structure of being forced to wake up in the morning. So he's just partying too much and he loses himself in the sauce in New York City and has to come crawling back to us to produce once again.
Look,
I hope so. I hope that happens too, Danny.
You can hoot with the Owls and cock-a-doodle-doo with the Roosters.
I prefer soar with the Eagles.
Yeah, well, I prefer Joey saying, and I'm not going to tell Joey he's wrong. You wouldn't either.
Well, for the Cannon's saying.
I
And I'm not
know.
going to tell my dad that he's wrong.
I'd tell the Cannon he's wrong. Not really.
Watch out, bro.
Cannon's my dog. I just like hearing Cannon's stories. That's what we haven't done enough of here on OTB.
Yeah, yeah. Look, whenever he gets, whenever the Cannon, I have ideas of stuff that I want to do with him whenever he is a bit more freed up time-wise.
One of my favorite things is to go sit down and have like a meal with Bobby Hebert and just hear him tell 1980s NFL stories.
Oh, they're the best. 1980s NFL is so crazy. Good. It's just so crazy. I love hearing about Lawrence Taylor looking like a demon, red eyes, frothing at the mouth, coming off the edge, getting ready to kill you, making professional O-linemen cry and switch positions, never to play that position again.
Yep.
There's just countless badass stories like that. And he's got the thing that all you former NFL athletes do where you just got this crazy kind of near photographic memory of like guys that you played with, like plays, games, everything. It's just insane. Danny, what time do you wake up right now?
For the show?
Yeah.
I set my alarm for 5 a.m.
Greg wants to know.
but
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
not
but what time
always-
do you wake up, though?
Yeah, it's not always. I would say like 5:30, 6, if I'm pushing it. No later than 6.
I am a solid alarm 5:30.
Dutch Schaefer says, good riddance, Danny. Hell yeah, Dutch. That's right. Get the hell out of here.
Rivers is smashing the pole, by the way.
Yeah, 62% right now.
Yeah, this is the point where you like are giving him his flowers, and then it's like, get out of here, just go.
Yeah,
leave.
yeah. Like Ole Yeller style.
Ooh, Avo brings up a great content idea. Y'all should have a Friday show from the lake house and have the Cannon there too for the entire show.
I mean, I would love nothing more. That sounds awesome. Again, I think
Avo,
that
he'd have to invite us to said lake house.
Chill out.
I think
chill
we're
out,
the
chill
only
out.
part
The lake may be shut down
of
this
T-Bob's
summer.
life that has not been to the lake house.
But the Cannon thing. Look, man, we're technically our employers are competitors, and so that kind of makes things a bit harder. Remember, we used to have Deuce McAllister as a weekly guest on here, breaking down Saints until we were told that we couldn't have Deuce anymore. Just knocked over a desk. There's no, I mean, you say Rivers smashed the poll. That's ridiculous. I just sat here and like bragged on you for an hour. This is
Look at
crazy.
the poll. You don't see the poll results?
No, I know. I'm saying I think chat is by extension like a proxy war. I think they're proxy simping. Yes. But whatever, that's all right, look, let's go to break. When we get back, Coach Jay Johnson here on OTB.
OTB, OT.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. We told you about hour 1. I'm going to tell you about hour 3, tell you twice a day because they are one of the biggest supporters of OTB. So if you like what we do, just know All-Star is one of the main reasons how we do what we do. And I like what they do. Right? I don't actually have anything in the contract, Jake. We don't get a car for free, right? Like I have chose to take my business to All-Star Toyota. I could drive something else and just sit here and lie to y'all every day, but I don't because I love what they offer me, whether it's been buying, leasing, renting. Love my minivan, Sienna. I've loved my Camry. About to change that around, upgrade. Whatever. The point is, you can find your next Toyota right there off of Airline Highway. Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com and start that journey.
Yeah, I mean, I could do the same thing, but I chose to lease from All-Star as well. So many different options. Like for me, I'm about to be a family of 7. They still have options for us, even no matter what you need. Like sedan, if it's just you, like they've got you covered from every single angle. Go to the website, find the full fleet available at allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can get 3.99% financing on select 2023 models. And we also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TV to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Clash of the Cooks Jambalaya Showdown is back. Join us on Saturday, April 22nd at the Ochsner Medical Complex at The Grove. We've got cooking teams of pros and Joes serving up their best jambalaya and Cajun Creole dishes, all while helping raise dough for local families battling cancer. Bring the whole family for great food, live tunes, and good times. Clash of the Cooks Jambalaya Showdown presented by Ochsner. Saturday, April 22nd at lunchtime. Help us paddle it forward. For tickets and more information, go to clashofthecooks.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after...
Hey, it's join me for Thursday's edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Pels getting you ready for LSU and Kentucky as well, and Joe Healy from D1 Baseball on the SEC slate this weekend. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. It's Thursday, and we got more baseball on the way tonight. Buy a ticket to the show. Paul Skeens back on the mound, this time against team ranked number 1 in RPI, the Kentucky Wildcats. And every single Thursday, we are lucky enough to have Coach Jay Johnson join us here on the show. Coach, what's up? Thanks for joining us on game day, man. How we feeling?
Good. Excited to be back home. It's been like 10 days, so ready to get out in front of our fans and roll.
Solid midweek game this week. A solid fight last week, right? Heading to South Carolina, handing them their first home loss of the entire season. Game 1, obviously, the entire complexion of it changes thanks to, the weather and whatnot. But then in game 2, Coach, you're facing down a pretty bad situation, right? A couple, an extended lead, 7-3, only a few outs left to work with. I want to get to the bats getting it done. But what did it mean to you to have, why am I blanking right now? Guidry come in and step up and shut that door so that the bats could get it done and get that game 2 win?
Yeah, it was awesome. I think if you're looking at, somebody that's going to pitch the opening game of a weekend or close a game that is tight, especially on the road against one of the best opponents in the country, the mental side of things and the competitive element, that's something you can't always measure, in recruiting. And getting to know Gavin here and getting him in those situations, it's like, I mean, he can't wait. I mean, he wanted to pitch on Tuesday. I mean, not that he wanted his team to probably give up a couple more runs, but he wanted to get in there. He's just kind of wired differently where the situation's not going to become bigger than his plan, and got on the throttle there in a key spot and a huge, absolutely huge win for our team and our program, and really proud of him for how he performed.
He wasn't the only performance, Coach, and it certainly was one that was awesome to watch a young player come in there and to have to come in and close the game like that, but Griffin Herring as well. To be able to hold South Carolina kind of in place to allow y'all to have the comeback, for Gavin to hit the grand slam and to have this, epic win where, going into it and you thought you were going to play game 3, LSU had all the momentum, but Griffin slammed the door on them, kept them in place long enough for the offense to catch up.
Yeah, a huge point in that game is, Garrett Edwards goes down with an injury, but the bases were also loaded with no outs when he went down with the injury. And so to get out of that with one run was the biggest moment of the game, no question about it, and just allowed us to stay in it and keep competing while their bullpen was doing a good job against us. And so, really, really proud of Griffin, and then getting us 2 zeros to kind of keep the momentum in our dugout, allowing us time to come back. And, he wanted to go back out for the 9th, and this was before we tied the game. We were down 7-3 at the time, and just felt like he'd gotten to about 50 pitches. That's the most he'd thrown, and it was a good ramp from the last weekend when he threw, and, we could look at extending him a little more, but you have to do that, over time. But really proud of him, and much like Gavin, just a very solid mental game out of him.
Yeah, thank you, Jake, for asking the question. I was actually trying to answer for my brain just short-circuited there with that first one. But it is interesting, right, Coach? Because in that combination, those are a couple of freshman arms in big spots. And one of the reasons why is because, there's been a run of injuries. And from a coaching perspective, when you have a run of injuries, is that a single position group like that, right, on the mound, a lot of the guys who've had the most statistical success out of the pen this year, how do you manage that?
Yeah, I think you throw everything on the table. We've been very deliberate with how we build these guys up. We've only had 2 pitchers throw twice in the same week all season. And, I just mentioned the pitch count thing, elevating it deliberately with Griffin, how we train them, all of that. It's a little tough to swallow because we're doing everything we can and we're doing everything right in that regard. And unfortunately, when, you get into an intense schedule like this and you got guys that throw the ball the way that they do, meaning with the intent and the velocity, sometimes they're going to get dinged up. So as far as moving forward, that's what matters. And you just look at what you have and then you try to slot it to put them in the best situation for success. I think this is a time where last year's experience of mixing and matching will serve us well. It's still relatively fresh for our team. I'm very comfortable in winning games that way. I'd much prefer to have the guys that are down healthy because I think we had the best pitching staff in the country with everybody healthy. But, we got capable guys. I look at Tuesday night's game, and there's not another team in the country that could throw that 6 guys in terms of talent out on the mound in that game at this point in the season. And they did a good job, and they're all going to be counted on this weekend to do a good job. And I trust them to do it. So it's just kind of head up and, figure it out. And that's the only option that we have.
Coach, last one on South Carolina before we move on from me. I want to go back to that 8th inning, and, you have veteran guys like Beloso works a walk, and then you have Thompson comes in, he works a walk. But for Braden Joe-Barry to come in, and, obviously he's been kind of in and out of it this year, but it felt like such a big moment. And it was probably going to go unnoticed if LSU doesn't tie it up with Gavin's grand slam, but to come in there, to be ready to hit, to get that single and set up the bases loaded for Gavin to do that. I know for you always kind of look at those small moments. That had to be one that you had circled from the last game against South Carolina.
Yeah, big time. It was a no-brainer to pinch hit him right there. And he got in and he was ready to go on the first pitch. And, he had a conversation with us a couple weeks ago, like, hey, how do I keep myself ready when it's in and out? And he hadn't really gone more than 2 or 3 games without being in the lineup. But that's difficult, sometimes. And guys that have come here, they played all the time. And so coming off the bench is something that they're not used to. But, he asked about, hey, what are some ways I can stay ready? And that was a perfect example of being ready and having a quality at bat. And then, Josh Jordan did a good job of not sending Beloso that day and keeping the Grand Slam in order. And Gavin got a good swing on it. So really good at bat by Braden, and he had to follow it up with a couple of really good at bats the other night. So I'm very happy for him.
Yeah. Look, when you got speed like Beloso does, you have to send him, Coach. I mean, there's no other choice. All right, let's look forward to this weekend. This Kentucky Wildcat team is fascinating, Coach. In a day and age, and they're actually, well, at least on paper, you know better than I do, they feel like the polar opposite of South Carolina, where South Carolina feels like the epitome of the current major league model, which is feast or famine, right? Home runs, strikeouts, we're getting these absolute results. Kentucky feels a bit more throwback. Lead in sacrifice bunts by a super wide margin. Lead in stolen bases, right? Last in home runs. So they're still playing this small ball manufacturing offense sort of style. Does that change, or how does that change your approach entering this weekend?
Yeah, I think the key is, and we've actually played, I would throw Tulane into this category, Kentucky for these three, and then Louisiana Lafayette. They're all very similar in how they play. And the key to the weekend is going to be getting the leadoff hitter out. If we are successful at getting the leadoff hitter of the inning out, then you kind of control the tempo of the game. And then when they do get them on and they do decide to bunt, we have to take care of the ball and make sure we get an out and not allow it to turn into a 2 or 3 run inning by not handling the ball. As far as the running game, I mean, I couldn't be more confident in what we do and our pitchers do. We're very hard to steal on, both from a pitching and catching standpoint. And so I think that, is in our favor, but you're going to have to be alert to all things. I mean, it is a very no-holds-barred approach to playing offense, and I tip my hat to them. They have a good identity, and they're all about the team over there. And that's not to say anybody else isn't, but, winning is the only thing that they care about, and they're playing to their identity really good, which is why they're 25-5 right now.
Yeah.
Coach, what's their identity as far as on the mound? Because we looked at it, we talked about them as far as, most stolen bases, most sacked bunts, least amount of total bases, but they just manufacture runs. What about on the mound for Kentucky? What can we expect to see?
Yeah, I think they do a good job there, too. They have a lot of guys that are different. And what I mean is, like, different arm slots, different pitch repertoires, different ways they go about getting you out. So it's really important from a hitting standpoint. We stay in a really good, solid approach. We're ready to make adjustments. And I have a lot of trust in our team to do that. I think, some of the players we have and kind of understand it. You expect us to come out and score 15 every game. But, over 9 innings, if they just stick with it and they play with the poise that they do, we're going to get to at some point. And, I think we've only had 2 games all year where we've scored 4 or less runs, and that's remarkable in this day and age in college baseball. So, we have to be ourselves. We did practice yesterday, dialing in some things. I thought Tuesday night's game was great. I didn't think we were as good at South Carolina as we've been, but we scored 5 in one game and 8 in the other game. So that just tells you how high the bar is with these guys right now.
Yeah, and I mean, you look in like your 8-hole hitters homered in 3 games in a row, like Jordan Thompson. It's relentless when it comes to this lineup. Coach, what about Christian Little on Sunday? So announced yesterday the starters for the weekend. Skeens Floyd, of course. Little getting the nod on Sunday. He got the nod on Tuesday, and it was a bit of a mixed bag, right? You love the fight. To get out of it with mitigating the damage. 40 pitches is a lot. Where do you stand on kind of unlocking, getting Christian Little into the zone that you need him to be in?
Yeah, I think as far as Tuesday, I didn't like that we would walk the leadoff hitter, and then we made an error. Then we got a strikeout. Then he almost had the next guy struck out. Guy got a hit. Credit the guy. And then we got another strikeout. Then I actually thought we struck the next guy out too, but it got called a ball. And then he struck the next guy out. So I look at it a little bit differently. And hey, bottom line, where we're at right now, we need him to be good. It's not going to matter if it's the 1st to the 3rd, the 4th to the 6th, the 7th to the 9th. Like, we have to get 3 to 5 innings out of him throughout the week. Now, that doesn't mean it's just one appearance, but over 2 appearances to be a, championship contending caliber team. And so I look at the totality of all the games and how we kind of have to line it up. He has the stuff to be able to do that. I think he's improved. I think, Tuesday was a good example of that. And it's just, we need him. Like, if you look at this roster of pitchers right now, there's no way we could get to our potential without him reaching his potential. And so I'm excited to see him do that.
Coach Jay Johnson, head coach of your LSU Tigers, taking on Kentucky in the box tonight. Get out, get crazy, pack it out, 6 p.m., Skeens on the mound. Buy a ticket to the show. Like we tell you, enjoy these opportunities. You get to watch Skeens strike out 1 million guys. It's so much fun every single week. And remember, this LSU team, the only SEC team with a winning record whose opponents also have a winning record, and it's obviously not changed this weekend. Number 1 RPI team in the country. Coach, thank you so much. You have an excellent day, and best of luck this weekend.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks,
Coach Jay Johnson. When we get back, close out the show, a little Ask the Bench. Do you want to remind you to Patient Plus Urgent Care, patientplusuc.com, where you will see the difference every single day when it comes to, or as soon as you walk up to a Patient Plus, you see the facilities. They're going to blow you away. They're absolutely fantastic. And, well, it's a bit of everything, right? It's certainly the employees, the doctors, the nurses, nurse practitioners, everything else. Like, they know how to ascertain what the issue is, but it's the rooms that you're in, Jake. The facilities in the rooms, everything they can test for, how comfortable you're going to feel, the digital profile system where it's just a touch of a button on your phone to sign in. Shout out Patient Plus. They're throughout the city. Just put in your Maps app. You'll find it. Patient Plus Urgent Care. When we get back, Ask the Bench.
OTB, OT. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done, or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Clash of the Cooks Jambalaya Showdown is back. Join us on Saturday, April 22nd at the Ochsner Medical Complex at The Grove. We've got cooking teams of pros and joes serving up their best jambalaya and Cajun Creole dishes, all while helping raise dough for local families battling cancer. Bring the whole family for great food, live tunes, and good times. Clash of the Cooks Jambalaya Showdown presented by Ochsner. Saturday, April 22nd at lunchtime. Help us paddle it forward. For tickets and more information, go to clashofthecooks.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Game 1, LSU, Kentucky. We're previewing it with Kendall Rogers, and we're recapping Pels Thunder. Join us, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB.
How about this stat real quick, T-Bob? Top 2 teams in the RPI in college baseball, Kentucky and South Carolina. LSU's 4, but I'm saying your last 2 opponents are 1 and 2 in the RPI. And if you're able to go out there, win the series after splitting the series, still feel pretty good about where you're at, obviously.
Yeah, no, for sure. Just win 2 or 3. Look, you're going to have your chance for sweeps in the latter half of the schedule. It looks awful now. It looked intimidating at the beginning of the year. It looks awful now. I'm watching another video of Turkish ice cream vendors trolling people that are trying to buy ice cream from them, not allowing to take a bite of it. Danny, in your travels around the world, if you ever find yourself in front of a Turkish ice cream vendor, I'm going to need you to defeat him. I don't know how you're going to do it. You're going to have to devise a strategy. Millions have tried. Nobody's been able to yet. But I want to see you grab that ice cream before he's just constantly ripping it out of your hands. All right. Ask the Bench is brought to you by Cold Curse Light, Vizzy Hard Seltzer, and Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus. We can get your questions in, and we'll answer them. No questions just yet. It'll be coming in a second. So I'll take this moment to remind you to go to Rejuve Me Medical. RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. You want to feel younger, better, stronger, faster. These ain't no PF Flyers. It's HRT. Maybe, right? It depends. Maybe hormone replacement therapy is for you. Maybe it's not. Go to Rejuve Me. Get the free consultation. Let them draw your labs, see where you're deficient, where you're strong, and then customize a plan for you based off of that. Because Jake's needs are my needs, are not Danny's needs. We all have different needs. And then ask about metabolization optimization while you're in there. Shreveport, Slidell, Metairie, Baton Rouge, Rejuve Me Medical. A lot of wrestling talk all of a sudden. I think the Cavender twins, people are saying to go to WWE, and a former LSU football player as well. Again, I wish I would have tried doing something in wrestling after college. Feels like it was probably right up my alley, right?
What'd your name been? You just gone by your name?
No, I don't know. I haven't really thought about what.
I miss the days of when wrestlers had names.
I'd be like
their name.
T-Slav, and I'd get really fat, but I'd be able to flip still, and that would be my gimmick.
You would be John Tenta, better known as Earthquake.
I was thinking more of the Beast from the East.
About Tugboat. Remember Tugboat?
Oh God, no, I don't remember Tugboat.
Natural disasters, Tugboat and Earthquake.
Who was the Beast from the East? Bam Bigelow? Does that sound right?
Bam
Bigelow. Big Bam Bigelow. Bam Bigelow. Yeah, I think it was Bam Bigelow. Yeah, hell yeah. Danny, look up a picture. If it's your final video production here on the show, well, until tomorrow, but we're not going to be here tomorrow. Look up a picture of Bam Bigelow and let me see if I'm thinking about the right guy. and tell me you can see this. Ask the bench. Y'all plan on going to the Zurich? No, I'm not. But it seems like a very fun time. One year I do want to do the Zurich.
It's always a fun time.
I've never been. Yeah. God, Bam Bam Bigelow. What a beast. Danny, tell me you couldn't imagine me in that fit right there. That looks right up my alley. Ask the bench.
Go to Earthquake. Pull up a picture of Earthquake while he's talking.
Will y'all keep us updated on what Danny will do when he leaves? Yes, as we are allowed to. Ask the bench, would you rather fight 60 kindergartners, 500 mice, or 40 geese? Oh, what a beast. Yeah, that looks like me. Yeah, 100%
That's more
actually. I'd fight 60 kindergartners, and I'd just be punting these kids, man. I'd be kicking them so far. You've never seen it. Never seen anything like it before. Nope, can't make the L Club golf event. It's my daughter's birthday. Is that him?
That's him. That's John Tinta.
That looks like that's an awful tiger tattoo. I mean, that is like very bad. When y'all gonna interview Big Wit? He's just got in the LSU Hall of Fame. We should definitely have Whitworth on. It's a good idea. I still have to confront the Rusher from 225 Wrestling. That's right. That's right. He snuck me at the Rougarou game. I will have my revenge eventually. Cooler dating technique: carbon 14 dating or ice core dating? Jake?
I don't know what any of that means.
We love you. We'll see you on Monday. Mario Jerez hosting Mar.
OTB, OT.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey, it's Matt Musso. Join me Monday through Friday for your daily update on LSU baseball with Musso at the Box, presented by New Orleans Flooring. Wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Google, and check out New Orleans Flooring. 2 locations, Metairie and Prairieville or NOLAFlooring.com.
Each year,